All right, on this episode of Project Big Screen, a ranking related to Wuthering Heights, which we'll be reviewing, the movie that's kind of tearing up the box office this past weekend. Crime 101 also will be reviewing, as well as Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, with the interview with the director, Gore Verbinski. But that list for those horny folks out there, top 10 horniest movies ever made. We'll also have a breakdown of the Cliff Booth Once Upon a Time in Hollywood trailer that we saw during the Super Bowl, as well as a trailer for the new Spider-Man Noir show, the Nick Cage Spider-Verse spinoff. All that and more coming up on Project Big Screen. All right, Project Big Screen, episode 20, February 15th, halfway through the month. Jeff D. Lowe, Kenjac, Gooch, Klemmer. 3 movie reviews today, and then a steamy list. We also have a review, not a review, an interview with the director of one of the movies, Gore Verbinski. We did Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. So a jam-packed episode, as we mentioned off the top. A couple interesting trailers. We only have really one from the Super Bowl we're going to talk about, but one that somehow, some way was the one nobody expected or saw coming. And I think is ripe for an interesting discussion about it. And what it is and when the fuck we'll even see it. So yeah, we're gonna get into all of that and more here, and do a list of top 10 horniest movies in honor of our first movie, Wuthering Heights, which I believe I've been saying Wuthering Heights. I don't know why. I know what it is. Just the more I saw the movie, the more I was like, man, I should probably just correct myself. So yeah, Wuthering Heights, based off of a book from 200 years ago, loosely based on a book. I'm gonna note pretty heavily here, loosely based on a book,
very loosely.
I will have a rant at some point during this review about, I don't really care if you liked it or didn't like it. There is a sect of review that is bothering me, that I'm like, well, what are we doing here? So we'll get into that in a second. Emerald Fennell, the director and writer, she writes and directs all of her stuff. She did Promising Young Woman, won an Oscar for that. She did Saltburn then, a crazy movie, which I think Saltburn might be to blame for some sort of or expectation setting for this movie. Tragedy strikes when Heathcliff, by the way, it's the number one problem with the movie and the book. Anyone named Heathcliff, I can't take seriously. That's just a cartoon cat. Even though I know the cat came out many years later. Falls in love with Catherine, a woman from a wealthy family in 18th century England. Had one of the better trailers that we saw last year, I thought. Very spicy trailer, very well done. Charlie XCX does the music in the movie, not the score, but does the songs, does the needle drops. And I thought the trailer was just fantastic. Just a great trailer, made you want to see it. I think even if you're not someone who's into those types of dramas, and played into, again, her last movie, Saltburn, which even if you didn't love it, I enjoyed Saltburn. It has some flaws, but like you're like, oh, this is going to be that. This is going to be some fucking wild shit. Comes out Valentine's Day. Holy shit. Did pretty well at the box office, $82 million opening worldwide. Could reach $40 million domestically by the end of President's Day weekend, but it's at I think $38 million. Domestically,
it's not doing what they hoped it would do. It's doing well, but not what they hoped.
Yeah, it's doing decent enough. Shout out to.
Wait, it's not doing well?
I don't think it hit the expectation. But I think it's like solid. You want to see? I do want to shout a movie we reviewed last week. Send Help only had like a minimal drop, and it has like really good legs at the box office. So that's very cool to see. Movie like that.
And I think that's a big reason why, Jeff, you're seeing this maybe not do as well as expected, where couples went to see Send Help maybe because of word of mouth,
could be,
instead of seeing Wuthering Heights for Valentine's Day.
What was it projected to make?
I saw as high as 50, but okay. I think people were saying maybe 40s, low 40s was kind of, it kept going up and up and up, and then all of a sudden it started going down, so.
Yeah. Because I see like 80 million global opening, and I'm like, that's an underperformance. Jesus Christ. How much was this movie supposed to be?
Only relative, right?
Yeah.
6.4 IMDb, 56 Metacritic, 3.0 on Letterboxd. Everything we reviewed today is around a 3.5 on Letterboxd. Look, who here has read the book?
I have not.
Apparently the only people in the history of this country to attend school and not read the book, the 4 of us, by the way. I've known more people I've never knew in my life read this book, or like, yeah, I read the book in school. It's like, well,
no,
okay.
Never a sign.
Never came close to Bronte, I don't think.
Hammer home. This is a non-book reader's review. The discourse on Letterboxd between book readers is nasty. Some of the nastiest shit I've ever seen. They are at each other's throats. They don't like people who like it, hate the people who don't like it. It's crazy. It's quite funny, honestly. But it is kind of all over the place. Kenjac, I'll have you start. What'd you score Wuthering Heights?
I really did not like this movie, really at all. I'm happy saying 45 out of 100 for Wuthering Heights. I did not like this movie, really outside the technicals one bit. I think it's very non-committal, and I think it's a slog. This movie felt like it was never, ever, ever going to end. It felt like it was too cowardly to pick a direction between erotica and drama, and I really did not like it. It didn't want to be too horny and lose the dramatic credibility, and it didn't want to be too dramatic and lose the horn dogs. And I think that was a humongous mistake by Fennell, and that safe approach really frustrated me. And like the big thing, I guess maybe the draw for a lot of people is like, oh well, it's Margot Robbie and it's Jacob Elordi, and like they'll be able to carry it. And like their chemistry is good. They're both extremely hot people. There's no way you can deny that. And the scenes where you get them together, I like they mostly work. I detested every human being in this movie, and I did not care, and not in a way with like something like like Succession, right? Like they're bad people, right? Like you watch something like that and you root for them, and like you have character depth. But it just felt like two moronic teenagers that did not know what love was and were just blinded by lust. So that's fine, because that movie can exist and be good, but when your ending hinges so like purposely on their love connection, that to me just doesn't work. And I really did not like it. The cinematography is fantastic. It's like as good as anything you're going to see this year. Same with the music. The music good, really, really solid. It's just like half this movie feels like an elongated music video. Other half of it's just feel like she's shooting scenes purposely to put into trailers or to put into like edits on TikTok and stuff. And I did not care for this really one bit. I credit to the actors. I don't think they did anything wrong. It's just I think Fennell really badly needs a co-director, like somebody to sort of curb her worst impulses and be like, this is not like the Coen brothers, when they separate, they just kind of like, you need someone else. Same thing with like the Safdies to a degree. Like you need somebody else to just kind of like give her more direction story wise, because she just does not. And you can say this, I would say the same thing with Saltburn, and even to a degree with Promising Young Woman. Like she needs someone to give her a little bit more direction. So not a big fan. 45 out of 100 for me.
Okay, Klemmer, what did you think?
Yeah, Emerald Fennell, the screenwriter, did Emerald Fennell, the director, no favors here. I give this a 48 out of 100. I appreciate how this movie looks. I appreciate the soundtrack. I think Charlie XCF stuff was really good. I think that it looks phenomenal, like Kenjac said. But like he said, like I just didn't like these people. And I think, at least for me, for a love story, I need to want these people to fall in love. I need to want these people. I want to root for these people. At least give me something. These were people that I actively hated by the end of this movie. And it's like, it's not that I don't care if they get together. It's like, I want them to fall off the earth. Like, I don't want to be around the company of these people anymore. And it's funny because like Saltburn, I thought was a lot better. And those are a lot of unlikable people too. So it's not that. I mean, my favorite movies are Goodfellas and The Godfather. So it's not like a situation where I'm like, all right, I can't watch a movie with unlikable people. But something about these two really just rubbed me the wrong way. And I don't know, like our coworker Kelly Keegs had a tweet though and said, if I cannot recommend this movie to any straight men. Like it's a movie for women. And maybe she's right. Like maybe it's not. Maybe how we view the world is different. I don't know. My wife liked it more than I did.
Speak on it, Klemmer. Speak on the gender differences in this country. Klemmer.
No. I mean, there are gender differences, and there are gender differences in movies.
How
Some
many?
movies are for guys, like more for guys. Some movies are more for, and maybe this is more.
Yeah, I mean,
for
this was
women.
made by someone who felt like an awakening reading this book as someone in high school. It's a woman who writes. So, like, obviously factor that in. Like, I mean, that's like there is an element to that. Like, I definitely see where that's coming from. I get that. Now, that's not gonna like.
I think it's a fair thing to bring up when we have four guys talking about it.
For sure.
Yeah, she writes like a teenage girl, but I think women deserve their own Michael Bay. Like Michael Bay writes like a 15-year-old boy, and you know what? He turns out stuff like Armageddon and Transformers, and they are fucking iconic, and we glom onto them. And I think Emerald Fennell is that for women.
Sure.
Like she writes like a fucking idiot. Like this is written by like a girl who spent 10 years of her life just scrolling through Tumblr and looking at GIFs. But like, is that a problem? I don't know. Like, this is making $80 million opening weekend. She's a name brand director 2 movies in. I think what she's doing is pretty impressive.
But the movie can still not be good, though, Gooch. Like, all those things can be true. And I can sit here and say, I didn't like it. Now, it also might not be for me. Like, I think both those things can be true.
But there is something there, is what I find so fascinating. Like,
I think it's definitely not for any of the 4 of us. I want to be very clear about that. I think no matter how much you liked it, I could say I gave this a 95 out of 100, but it's not for me, though. Like, that's the thing. I think that is like, I don't think that's much like a very deniable thing, though.
Right.
I think the big difference between Zack Snyder and like or Michael Bay, like those guys, they aren't trying to make art like an art with that. When you're making Ambulance or you're making Transformers, like you're not trying to make something purpose built like adapt, like they're not adapting a fucking 1800s English literature novel. You know what I mean? Like they're not going for drama, and I think that this movie does. They are explicitly trying halfway through to go for that dramatic ending, and when you're doing that and you're failing, I think that's just that you're shooting for different goalposts. And I do think there could definitely be a female version of those directors. I don't think Fennel's necessarily.
But like women don't read, like they're not reading comic book stuff. Like they
well, no, but I mean
this is their trash. Wuthering Heights is a trashy book. Like it's not like when it came out, it was salacious and a complete, rejection of everything of the times and like very, against the times. I don't think it's like this hoity-toity thing that I think you're painting it as. I think it's very trashy.
I think it's very different from something like Transformers, and I think the way that she plays it in this movie is definitely for more of a dramatic angle than something like fucking action doofus Zack Snyderism.
Is it though? Like she plays it like a dollhouse. It's pretty explicit that this is basically like a girl playing with her dolls. Like it's directly addressed in the movie that she is this like
your big moment at the end of the movie is supposed to be like, hey, look, these guys loved each other so much they couldn't live without each other and they starved themselves to death. I don't view that as Zack Snyder. I view that as I'm going for a dramatic effect.
Yeah, but that's like, I don't view that as like this like unapproachable, like you need to go through college classes to understand it. I think that is
not at all.
That is like a story for girls, young women. Like that is a story that they will gravitate towards.
Romeo and Juliet. And Romeo and Juliet is considered one of the best dramas of all time.
Yeah, but I don't think the drama of it all like makes it something that young people would not. I don't.
Trash for girls is going to be different than trash for guys. I'm kind of with Gooch on this one. Like,
no, I agree with that. I think that there can definitely be like there's a zone for trashy TV and trashy movies for women. They exist and they are made all the time. All those movies. I don't think that when I watch this movie, I don't feel like that was the goalpost here. Like that didn't view to me like she's spending all this money, she's putting all this effort into it, she's painting this big beautiful portrait drama in the fucking 1800s and trying to be like, well, I'm making Bridgerton here. I don't feel like that's what they're doing.
I mean, Charlie XCX doing the sound. I think this is very much a trashy poppy movie.
I don't feel it played that way. I don't feel like it played that way at all. Like a Bridgerton or like some fucking. I think of a better version of like a.
I think there's definitely. Like I kind of. I mean, it's a cop out, but I kind of agree on almost both sides a little bit because I do get what Gooch is saying, and I don't fully disagree with that. And I'm curious what he's about to give it. And what'd you give it, Klemmer? Just sorry.
48.
Okay, but there is like. Maybe I don't know if Michael Bay is the best like direct example, though I do get what you're saying because I do think there's a little more art and there's something to her stuff that's a little different in my eyes than what. Bay's throwing down as he hurls fucking megaphones at people. But what'd you give it, Gooch? Let's let that be the lead into your. What did you think?
I'm at a 65. This movie is a fucking mess. Like it just is a fucking mess. Like it really.
So that's also what I gave it for what it's worth.
Yeah, like there are, and we're all in agreement here. Movie looks fantastic. Linus Sandgren, like great. I don't know if he's gonna stick around through the entire award circuit, but this. Should be in the conversation. I mean, like, and along with the production design, I mean, colored walls, crazy stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's very inventive and cool and very nice to look at. Like, this will be in a million TikTok edits from now until forever. I mean, just gorgeous. And the soundtrack's awesome too. I actually did really like that, the Charlie XCX soundtrack underlying everything. But I mean, it takes liberties from the book, from what I understand, like massive liberties. Like the end point of where we end this movie is basically the halfway point of the book. So that's crazy. So if you're gonna do something different, I think she could have done a lot to tweak the characters a little bit more. Because also, Klemmer, to your point, you said you hate these characters. from what I understand, this is like kind of what they're like in the book too. Like they are kind of despicable and mean and just vengeful people that you don't really like, and they make these weird decisions because it's late 19th century England and they don't talk to people. Like they see one person a week and they're just weird people. So I wish she would have done some updating in that department. Like if you're going to start taking liberties, fix it for the modern age. Don't, go half-ass there. And I guess that's what Kenjac was saying too. Like it's almost like you're wanting to do the Wuthering, and the quotations are kind of emblematic of that whole problem. It's like either do it or don't. Do it or don't. And I feel like she got caught in the middle here. The second they have sex, by the way, this movie loses all steam, which is not what should happen.
Yes, I would. I
won't say what it happens, but the second they have sex is when like the yearning was working, like the yearning, the longing, the edging, that was really working. And then it completely loses all that power the second they start having an affair.
This
and
is
the
a
affair
spoiler.
montage is just
Technically, this is a spoiler that you need to hear if you're going to see it and you have certain expectations. It is on no planet as provocative and horny as the trailer wants you to think it's going to be. It's like it is, which is a shame in a sense that it's, I don't know if shame is the right word, but what Gooch said I think is spot on, is that this is best when it's really towing the line and kind of like revving the engines up. And the second it starts the car, you're like, all right. Like it kind of loses a lot of its like juice. Like there's some real creeps out there who I'm sure like, ooh, not enough nudity none actually for my liking. But like, hey, that's fine. If it's not going to be the psychotic like horny fest that I expected from the trailer, that's fine. But I liked kind of what you just said, Gooch, right? Like this building up this tension, and unfortunately it hits this middle ground, which it should never be in. It should be either here or it should be, if you're listening, you should either be on the one side of the middle ground, right? It should either be the most tension built, never hit that climax thing possible, or go balls to the fucking wall. So it did land in a zone. Again, that's a spoiler that I do think you need to hear if you want, if your expectations are a certain way. Because I was surprised by that. I liked them together. Like I have the same score as Gooch. I actually think they work. I see people say that they don't like the chemistry. It's hard to right now parse a lot of reviews and how many of the reviews are people angry about book stuff. I do not give a fuck what you think about the book. I don't care. Like if you can't see that she did her own pure, her viewpoint, change things up adaptation, then like you shouldn't go see the movie. I don't know. This movie is this is gonna make Kenjac fucking curl. This movie's very Romeo plus Juliet coded in terms of like
Extremely.
in terms of like doing your own thing completely different, taking source material, and it doesn't always work for everyone, and some people it does, some people it doesn't. Myself and Kenjac are the best example of Romeo plus Juliet. It'll always be the biggest chasm between our like scores we'll ever release. But like I don't mind that at all. Like I think to make that a critical point of this movie is like batshit. Like I just think it just so defeats the purpose of like going to see movies and movies being made, and like she did her own adaptation, her own take, her own twist. With that said, I will agree with Gooch. I liked a good amount of this. I think the last third is where it really slugs for me. Like I don't think the whole thing's a slog for me, but the last third, it loses a lot of the steam. I think a lot of the built up tension, a lot of the feelings of the characters' chemistry kind of fizzles out, unfortunately, due to some of the creative decisions. But I just wish she would have gone for it harder. Like I just wish she would have, like you were saying, Gooch, like if you're gonna do your own thing, fucking full send. Have John Leguizamo with the gun, with the Shakespeare written on it. Like go full all the way out. Because I do think, again, I liked them. I've seen some people say they don't like the chemistry. Personally, for me, I enjoyed the chemistry. I thought they worked well together. I think Elordi's really good. He's kind of on a roll right now. I always like Margot Robbie. I think supporting cast is really solid. I don't hate the writing. It looks great. Music's great. I just like the story. If the final third had hit harder, I think this would have been like, oh, I'm kind of into this like trashy, like artsy attempt here. So that's kind of
It's a shame.
that was my big, that was the rant I was talking about. if you don't like it, great. You know, like I have no problem with what Kenjac, what Klemmer say about the movie. We're not that far off in the long run anyway. But if your main reasoning is you don't like it changed stuff from the book, like what the fuck are we doing? Like that's not. Then go read the book. Leave the theater and go.
That's
read
always
the
my
book.
thing.
I don't know.
People,
I don't know what to tell you.
If you're gonna, that's always been my thing with the book adaptation. Any adaptation, like if you are going to beg for accuracy from the book, like translating it over to a screen, like that's just not. It's not the same medium. It's impossible. Like
it's a shame, Jeff, because what you're saying I agree with a lot, especially that third act, because we saw her do this with Saltburn, and Saltburn gets wild and weird, but like it kind of like helps the movie, it elevates the movie, I think, and it makes the movie like more fun and more interesting and more different. Like with this, you're right, you guys are right, like it's too caught in the middle, and we've seen the same director go wild before, go wild again.
There's gray fucking in Wuthering Heights, the book. There's gray fucking in that book, and she did it in Saltburn, but she didn't do it here. Which is kind of strange, right?
That is weird.
I do, and I like her style. Like I like what she does. I've always liked her stuff. I mean, I give it a 65. That's 20 plus points lower than her other two movies I have. I really think Promising Young Woman's great. I like the ending of that movie, and I think Saltburn. Like, I'm someone who I do like kind of balls to the wall movie, and the more batshit a movie gets, I can excuse away some things. So like something like Saltburn, I really like. So this is a pretty large step. Like this is compared to other movies, this is a failure in my eyes for her. I mean, we all kind of, you know, not like anyone here has like a rousing score, but it's a bummer because even the stuff that like the first two thirds I did enjoy. I was like, oh, this is going, and then just that last third, it doesn't hit home. It just doesn't. I don't know. I think it's just some storytelling choices by her. I respect the shit out of her doing her own thing. This is what I read, and because she's had a lot of interviews obviously about it in the press tour. She's like, this is how I read it. It's how I viewed it when I read it. Great, but it just doesn't. It stops short. It's kind of. I never would have expected that from her. If you would have given me. And you said, hey, you're giving it a 65. Why? I'd have been like, it probably went too crazy. I'd have been like, it's probably just too much. I can't believe she stopped short. Like that's actually, it was shocking to me. I was like, damn, okay. It's a bummer.
See, that's the thing where I almost think you can't give her a ton of credit because she didn't commit. Like I think the idea of it being like doing your own style, and that's something I didn't understand with anybody with book reservations having an issue with this trailer. Like you watch that trailer, you know you're not getting some super faithful adaptation.
Right.
She's getting a very stylized her version of it. Like I don't know what you would expect there. But I like her style of shooting. I like her style of her audio or acumen for like everything on the technical end of things. But it's just like she just did not commit. Like you gotta commit. You gotta go full horny, go full freak fest, and then like I think I would respect this a lot more. It is really towing the line all the way through, and that really just frustrates me. But I mean, by the way, I want to shout out one actor who I think really stood out against maybe the grain here. His name is Martin Clunes, who played her dad in this.
Yeah.
That guy,
All-time death scene.
phenomenal death scene, and that guy, what a perfect decrepit English noble. Like that's some guy that would be in Pirates of the Caribbean, you know? Like he is just like the teeth, the way he spoke, like the enunciation. Oh, he was fantastic. The whole cast was. I don't think there's a bad cast member here, but man, he crushed it.
I thought Allison Oliver was also great. Who's the sister in Saltburn? Yeah. She's the like frilly girl with the ribbons in this one. She was hilarious. Dates Josh O'Connor too. Powerhouse.
Wow. Oh wow.
Couple. Yeah. But yeah, no, I thought movie was a lot funnier than I was expecting too. Like all of her stuff has been funny, but this was like. You get into these period pieces, you don't often expect them to, you know, make you laugh out loud, and this did several times. Like,
also respect the on-location shooting. That's something you get afraid about anytime they do anything like this. But those like big rolling glens and the fog and stuff, like man, it looked gorgeous.
It looked Wuthering. Looked Wuthering as fuck.
We're shitting on it. This movie, man, those visuals are insane. The one sunset shot where like he's riding off into the distance, man. There's some really good stuff here visually.
It does rain a lot there.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what Wuthering means. It's just stormy.
That it rains all the time.
This won't knock me off course as being a big defender of her. Whether it be her last two movies, whether it be playing the great queen of the United Kingdom, Camilla Parker Bowles. She also, I think I forgot she was in the movie Albert Nobbs with Glenn Close. One of the great releases of 2011. This won't knock like it. I agree with what Kenjac just said. Like I guess it's probably as an apologist of her, as a fan. I mean, apologies, she's won an Oscar, but like, yeah, maybe she shouldn't get full credit. She didn't go all out, but I do think like she will next time. That's like maybe that's like me trying to write it off as a fan of her stuff, but like it doesn't knock me off course of being a fan of her shit, because I do think she still has. I think she has a great eye for making a movie that looks great. I think she's got really great instinct in terms of like needle drops and music and how to pump in things that may not be a song or a choice that you'd expect. I think the Charlie XCX thing was great here. So excited to see what she does next. This was just a step down. This was a bit of a bummer. Wanted more.
It's not one I'm against like rewatching though. I will say that. Like there is just a lot of great stuff here. Like it will be in so many fucking edits.
So many.
Like I mean just so many. We will see this movie on our timelines until we die.
Big time.
Very similar scores, 45 from Kenjac, 48 from Klemmer, 65 for myself and Gooch. That is Wuthering Heights. All right, review time for Crime 101 up next. Time to talk about Crime 101. An elusive thief eyeing his final score encounters a disillusioned insurance broker at her own crossroads. As their paths intertwine, a relentless detective trails them, hoping to thwart the multi-million-dollar heist they are planning. 2 hours and 20 minutes long. All three movies are about the same length that we're reviewing today. 2 hours and 20 minutes. Not to get too on cinema at you, but longer movies than I expected on a couple of these. Bart Layton, the director. Last thing he did was American Animals, which was produced, I believe, by Movie Pass in 2018, and like one of the quietly better movies of 2018. Very good hidden gem. If you've never seen American Animals, check it out. Stack cast: Chris Hemsworth, Mark Ruffalo, Barry Keoghan, Halle Berry, Monica Barbaro, Corey Hawkins, Nick Nolte, Tate Donovan. Shout out Matthew Del Negro, Sopranos and West Wing actor. I just watched him in The West Wing at the end of that series. Jennifer Jason Leigh also in this briefly. $29.8 million worldwide at the box office. I believe this movie cost like a decent amount of money, by the way. So that's
$90
not
million.
a great return. It was like $200 million. Am I wrong on that? Did you see that?
I heard $90 million before press.
Oh, I'm looking at something else. Okay. Oh yeah, that is right. I'm referencing something else, but yes,
That's still a lot.
$90 million. So not exactly the best opening possible.
No.
Made $30 million at the box office opening weekend. 87.84 split around Tomatoes. IMDb 7.2. Metacritic 66. Letterboxd 3.2. Klemmer, you go first. Review of Crime 101.
I really like this. This is a really good heist movie. Does not reinvent the wheel. You're not going to see anything here you haven't seen before, but it's just done really well. It's also a really intelligent movie. It's a movie for grown-ups. This is a movie for people who are 25 or older. It's edited almost like something from 1981. It's a slow burn, but it's rewarding. And you have everyone in this movie is either a very good actor or great in this movie. Everything that happens, it pays off in the end. It's a very worthwhile watch. If you enjoy heist movies, I'd stamp like a must-watch on this. I enjoyed the hell out of this movie. I didn't know what to expect going in. The marketing's been horrible. The promotional, everything makes this movie look boring or weird or no reason to go see this. There is a reason to see this. It's a really smart heist movie that I think anyone who enjoys that genre will enjoy. I give this an 81 out of 100, and I like the hell out of this movie.
Okay, 81 out of 100. What'd you give it, Kenjac?
I'm an 82 out of 100 right there with Klemmer. And I would agree. The marketing in the trailers really let this one down because they present it as this sort of like streamer level garbage heist movie. Like maybe it would be one we would enjoy, like in the same like realm as something like Den of Thieves or something like that. But like it doesn't look like the movie that you actually get, which I think is like a really interesting, 3-character perspective of the heist. It has really cool cinematography, complimentary music for the LA heist, which is, again, it's really tough to make an LA heist movie and not just be called Heat. And I think this does do a pretty decent job of getting outside of the zone while still also like you get that sort of feel out of it. Definitely cliche at points, like Klemmer said, but you don't like nothing that makes you go like, oh, this again, like, oh, this same old thing, this blah, blah, blah. And I don't really feel, because this is a 2 hour and 20 minute long movie, you don't really feel that a lot, which I think is very impressive. And I think one of the worst things you could say about this movie is like you could tell that it's supposed to be longer, and I wanted more of it. Like for example, me said this when we left the theater, Klemmer. Like Jennifer Jason Leigh, you don't cast Jennifer Jason Leigh for 2 lines. Like, clearly she had a bigger part to play. Clearly there's a lot of other like threads that were meant to be played out that they didn't have time, or they had to leave in the cutting room floor or whatever. Chris Hemsworth American accent's very bad, but I don't care because I think he's good. He's like almost like playing like Ben Affleck in The Accountant, like just a big handsome doofus that has no idea how to talk to people. And I think I'm trying to think of anything else I can really say I didn't like, but it's tough. I don't want to try and find that. Loved it. Loved the cinematography. Liked the story. Found it really interesting, and I would watch more movies like this for sure from this director.
All right, 2 in the 80s. What'd you give it, Gooch?
Not far behind. I'm at a 70. Like you guys said, this movie, they really undersold how great this movie looks. Like, there's been a lot of, and we're right in that sweet zone right now of everyone who grew up watching Michael Mann movies and specifically Heat are now like making movies, and this is like, there's a lot of them. Den of Thieves is one of them. This is very much a Heat, To Live and Die in LA like disciple. Like, this is very much in conversation with those, paying homage to them, and does a great job, about as good of a job as like any movie in recent years has done in terms of like replicating that visual style specifically, and the way it's edited and the way it takes its time. It's 2 hours and 20 minutes. Really doesn't feel like that, but it takes its time. So it's nice. I don't really love Chris Hemsworth in this lead role. I'll be honest. Like, I think he's a bit miscast as this kind of lone wolf. He's just so enormous and handsome and sticks out like a sore thumb no matter where he is. So using him as a getaway criminal is just a tough sell for me. Because like, no matter where he's at, you just clock that guy. You clock that guy, he stands out. Like, he's going to stick out no matter where he is. And I'll never believe that he's like having trouble talking to women. I just can't. I can't buy into it. But outside of that, enjoyed most of this movie. I think there's like one storyline. We'll get into it. I think there's one storyline that's maybe given a little too much attention, or maybe shouldn't even be in the movie. But outside of that, good time. In terms of like garbage heat, this is about as good as you can get. 70 out of 100. Cannot wait to rewatch this on cable in a few years. Very much a movie that will be on cable endlessly.
Yeah, I've kind of gone back and forth my score a little bit between like 78s and 80. I'm excited to see it again. I'm landing on an 80 because I did enjoy it. My biggest problem with the movie, I think, is Chris Hemsworth. Like, I actually like I don't think he's terrible in that role. I just think I don't think his acting is the problem. I just think he's not right for that role. I don't know why. It just doesn't fully work for me. He also, I will say, this is weird. I don't want to get too like nuts and bolts of his performance, but he fucking talks through his hand like for the first like 45 minutes of the movie. Just kind of strange to me. It just kind of stuck out as weird. It looks great. That opening shot is fucking awesome. Like, it's one of the coolest shots of LA I've like seen in a movie in, I don't know, forever.
The twist, yeah.
It obviously has a great Springsteen Jersey Girl needle drop, which is worth like 35, 40 points alone. And not just a needle drop, like a like referenced, like she talks about the song. Everyone in the movie is really solid. I hate taking an 80 and then being negative, but like I do think if this thing had been like a little tighter and more focused, this could have been like up there for favorite of the year so far for me, because it does kind of lose itself a little bit. I think it's a little overbaked in some spots. There are a lot of things happening, and some of them sort of trail off and lose focus a little bit as it goes on. I don't even know if I'd say they don't tie things up. I think they do tie things up, but they tie things up in a way of almost like, oh, we got to make sure we tie that up, not like a natural thing. That'd be my one big problem. I think it was just maybe like a hair more focused, but it's like, I think the story is really well done. It's a really enjoyable heist. I think it kind of takes some twists and turns and some things that there was, I don't want to spoil it yet. We'll spoil it in a second, but there was like something that happens in the trailer that I've seen the trailer like 3 or 4 times, and I didn't know it was about to happen, and it still kind of caught me off guard. So they did a pretty good job of kind of steering you in certain directions. And how it ends is a little unexpected for me. So yeah, I did enjoy that. Looks really solid, like really solid, well done action heist movie. That I do think could have been like, this isn't like, oh, this is the ceiling or something like this. Like, I think this is almost like the floor. Like, this could have been like really fucking good. Maybe like a touch unfocused. We'll spoil it now. So if you want to see it, you'd stop listening now, but we will spoil it. Yeah, I like when Ruffalo gets in the car. I don't know. I guess I'm a big dummy. I mean, I've seen that scene in the trailer 100 times, but even that I was like, oh, that's fun. Like even that whole like sequence of the plane and him tracking the plane, stuff like I did think that was neat. Built up the tension. I was like, oh shit, okay, like, you know, I was for a while like, there's no way this guy's gonna die. Obviously, he doesn't die, but I was like, okay, some shit might go down here. Like this isn't gonna work for him. So the way it ended, I thought was like the main story and main plot thread I thought was great. But there's a couple things like Halle Berry's thing was at times a little like not confusing, but I was like, oh, like okay.
That's
even
the
like
storyline I was referencing.
yeah, that was the one that was mainly the Monica Barbara one is okay for me. Like I think it gives him a humanizing angle.
You got to have that.
I love it.
Yeah.
I could have had a whole movie of that. I thought she was phenomenal.
You got the lone wolf criminal. You got to have the woman that he walks away for.
Yeah.
You got to have her.
And she's so good in that role. She's obviously beautiful, but her personality was like so, I don't know, so winning. Like I was like, this is like an ideal guy for this guy, especially this kind of cold guy, to have this warm person.
Yeah,
I really like. I'm more on Kenjac's side where this could have been 4 hours, and I wouldn't have complained one bit.
No,
The world building here I thought was exceptional.
this is like a mini series, like 3 or 4. Like I that could have been solved, but obviously it's a 2 hour and 20 minute movie. So for me, it just kind of hit that weird zone where I don't know, like some of it just didn't fully work, but the main thing did, and that's kind of what matters most. So.
Were you guys upset that Nick Nolte stuff didn't get resolved? I wasn't. Because it's not realistic that he breaks him down. He's too powerful, I think.
Yeah, that's something like if they were to make a sequel or make this movie longer, I'm sure I'd like to see it, but I wasn't like bummed out to not see it fleshed out, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, Nick Nolte, crazy voice in this movie.
Who are you talking about?
Yeah, I would say yes if I haven't seen The Mandalorian 900 times, and that's just what he fucking sounds like in The Mandalorian.
Okay, all right.
His Ugnaught character. So, but yeah, no, it was. I guess I don't. Again, I've seen the trailer, but this maybe like I haven't like fully paid attention to it, or maybe it just didn't catch my interest. You know, it's one of those trailers that feels like. Remember when they first started showing the trailers for the Holdovers, and it like wasn't even a trailer. It was like part of like Nuvi, and you'd be like, what the fuck? Like, is this even going to be shown in theaters? Like, that's kind of how I viewed Crime 101 initially. So I do agree, like the marketing on this was kind of like ass.
Horrible.
Such a movie that looks
would think-
as great as it does.
You guys, like, I have 3 movies as the top 3 of the year so far, and this is clearly, and there's a pretty big drop off for that. Bone Temple, this, and Send Help, I think are like, to me, like in a
Bone
class
Temple
their
and
own.
Send Help for me are like a good tier above this. Not a good tier, but they are a tier above it. Like this is below that tier.
Okay.
But I
have
think
them all
this is definitely a third.
Wait, how do we feel about by the way, Barry Keoghan? Where are we at with Barry Keoghan right now?
Love him.
This was
Can't get enough.
I think this is. What has he been doing recently that I just did not like him in? I cannot remember what I saw him in recently.
Oh, well, Hurry Up Tomorrow was terrible. That's not his fault.
Yeah, but that wasn't the one I was thinking of.
Definitely something
I don't know.
else.
This was
He's
a good spot
perfectly
for him, though.
unhinged in this. Like he is a perfect
He's
casting
so
for the
good.
movie because I just assumed at any point he was going to just shoot and kill everybody. Like he was just like he is like he's a complete fucking disaster. Like that character has to be that to make it make sense. Is unhinged lunatic, and so he fit that. It was yeah.
That
Perfect role
bank
for
scene
him.
or that jewelry scene when you see how he robs a jewelry store compared to how
Yeah.
Hemsworth robs it
Yeah.
is so fantastic. I was like nervous. I was a nervous wreck watching that. It was so
Constant.
well shot, so well done.
Constantly fucking up. And you also, by the way, to kind of piggyback off that, you get a good car chase out of this, which like a good, cool, like old fashioned LA car chase. And they also kind of reference a little bit of that later when they talk about like Steve McQueen movies. And he's like, what's your favorite Steve McQueen movie? And I'm sitting next to Klemmer and I'm like, say Bullet. And he's like, Bullet. And I'm like, fuck yes. Like, oh. I love that. It's a really cool old school vibe of that.
Also, really love the way they shot the motorcycle.
Yeah.
Anytime they're on the motorcycle, really, really cool way to shoot that
too.
with the visor. Love that design. That was awesome.
Him zigzagging, like when the guy's
Yeah.
going straight and all the motorcycle stuff. And the helmet looked cool.
And then go up to like the rig shots on like under like the street level up to like the top. Like, oh, that was cool shit. And they also had the shot which we talked about when we left Klemmer, the Widows type shot when like Halle Berry gets in the car and you get the camera on the door.
So
closing
good.
on their conversation.
And the
I
door
always
like
love that.
shakes when you close it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
love that.
Man, this is really Bart Layton's first movie since American Animals. And he
Yeah.
got $90 million to make this. Wow.
I know.
What was he doing since then?
Good director.
This whole project is confusing me. This whole movie, kind of the rollouts of it being an $80 million movie starring 3 of the biggest movie stars in the world. but directed by a guy in a soft that really no one would know his name.
And then they had no idea how to market it.
And then
Which
they
is
didn't
very
market it.
frustrating. I'm very concerned there won't be more movies like this moving forward, because like this movie's going to take a bath and then we're going to get stuck with just more schlock.
By the way, Pedro Pascal was
cheaper.
supposed to be the Hemsworth role in this, and also
That wouldn't have worked either.
I would agree with you. It'd be a little more meditative, I think, or more believable at least that he's like a loser. But
Who
at
is
the
that?
same time,
Kenjac?
sorry,
Who is it?
Pedro Pascal was originally going to be the Chris Hemsworth role. Also, thank God, Netflix. I think it was going to initially do this. I don't think this is a movie that was really good in theaters. I think for sure.
For sure. This also will kill on streaming.
I hope so.
Crime 101, like this is like it's like an algorithm name for fucking streaming. That like could not be more dead on
Fucking title
to what's going to do well.
Oh.
It's in the Mark Ruffalo cop collection.
He is.
Boys,
He's great at playing just a really grizzled, like disgruntled, down on his luck, like kind of messy cop. Like it really is his. It's
Divorced
it's
cop.
his thing.
He's divorced cop guy.
Divorced middle-aged
Divorced
cop.
cop
There's-
doing yoga. Just trying
Yeah.
new things.
Cops are like a spectrum. Like you're either John Hamm FBI or you're Mark Ruffalo divorced dad. Like
Yeah.
you're one or the other if you're in the police.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, no, this really does just hit like all the tropes, but I'm here for it. Like it does all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Any other thoughts on Crime 101? I think it's definitely a check it out. I think for sure. I think this is going to
Absolutely.
satisfy a lot of people. It's like right up that alley of really kind of slick, sexy in spots crime thriller with a good story. Maybe a little overbaked in spots, but for the most part, the main storyline and like what should be enjoyable, I think we all agree is pretty damn awesome. So. Yeah, good. This was a surprise.
Shout out Tate
I thought this time of year with the marketing and stuff, this was going to be a stinker. So,
Yeah,
quite pleased with what we got here. Quite happy.
man. Can you imagine Ryan Gosling like 10 years ago in that lead role? I was thinking
For
about
sure.
that while I was watching the movie. Like 2012 Ryan Gosling. That
I think
was-
Hemsworth was too big. Hemsworth was
feel
just too
like-
big of a guy for that role.
Gosling's too like normal.
in that era, he was like playing this role repeatedly. The just like Sigma autistic
Face Beyond
male.
the Pines.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like he's just
he was
like
just doing the drive.
Drive,
that's true.
Blade
Drive's
Runner.
great.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think who.
All right. So that is Crime 101. We would definitely say go see. We all enjoyed it to varying degrees. A solid action heist movie that, yes, I know some we did say it. Yes, it's reminds you of Heat a little bit, just not quite as good as Heat. That seems to be 90% of reviews in this movie are like it's like Heat light. It did remind me. All I can think about the whole movie is how Heat 2 is coming out. By the way, that's all I could think about. I was like, oh
Yeah.
they're doing a fucking Heat 2. That's right. That is Crime 101 though. Definitely check it out. All right, review time 4. Good luck, have fun, don't die. Commas in between all three of those things in the title. So good luck, comma, have fun, comma, don't die, which if you watch the trailer, they bash you over the head with it. Directed by Gore Verbinski, who did Cure for Wellness, Lone Ranger, Rango, not exactly the run of the century, but before that did the Pirates of the Caribbean trilogy, especially the first movie, which is a classic, awesome fucking movie. And you know what? While I don't love the second
3
two
are great,
quite as
Jeff.
much, there's redeeming qualities.
I think those movies kind
redeeming
of
qualities. They're classics. They're bona fide classics. The trilogy.
The second one I do enjoy quite a bit. The third one is not as good as the first two for sure, I don't think. But it does also feature one of the greatest
the third
CGI
one.
characters ever made. So Davy Jones will hold up for eternity as like the
Yeah.
most perfect CGI ever. But very enjoyable movies. And we do have an interview with him after this. A man claiming to be from the future takes the patrons of an iconic Los Angeles diner hostage in search of unlikely recruits in a quest to save the world. 2 hours and 14 minutes long. Small opening, 3.62 million opening domestically. Sam Rockwell, Haley Richardson, Michael Pena, Zazie Beetz, Juno Temple among the cast. 88% split on Rotten Tomatoes. IMDb 7.6, 65 Metacritic, Letterboxd 3.5. Gooch, what did you give it?
I'm at a 55. And it's a shame because, and I don't think it's like a bad movie at all. 55, we're on the positive side of things. The first 2/3 of this movie are borderline pretty great, like great, and just a good time because Sam Rockwell is having a fucking blast, and Gore Verbinski is so kinetic in the way he shoots things that you're just like running around in this like dystopian, but not dystopian because it's just like today world, and it's a good time. And then the final act, we'll talk about it, and it's hard to really give my thoughts on this movie without getting into the spoiler stuff, but the third act just needed to be, in my opinion, touched up a little bit more in terms of how it resolves itself. And I would say it's obviously, this isn't a spoiler, it's very anti-AI. I think a lot of its thoughts probably needed to be written down and baked a little bit longer because when it's time to pull them out of the oven in the third act, they're just undercooked. At least that's how I felt. But 55 out of 100, good time. And Sam Rockwell, like I said, is really going for it like he always does. And it's a really fun spot for him.
Okay. Kenjac, what'd you give it?
I'm at like 70 out of 100. And I think that the biggest difference, I think, just between, for example, me and Gooch's scores, like I value that first 2/3 of it a lot. Because the first half of this movie specifically is like amazing. And I put it up against just about any movie that came out this year among our top, like all of our collective like top fives for sure. It just tails off in the second half. And like it's kind of built up through these anthology stories, right? And some of them work really well, and some of them just kind of fall flat and don't feel like anything. And I would agree 100% with what Gooch is saying, is that in that there are a lot of ideas here, and some of them you're getting a raw meat, and the other one you're getting like a delicious steak. So just they need a little more consistency there. I would say that everything Sam Rockwell is incredible. Like it plays out like a really well choreographed dance, especially every time they're in that diner. The rest of the cast I think is solid. Not everyone else gets as much work to do with it. I would say obviously Rockwell carries the load. And I would say that it does leave you with something to think about as you get out of the theater and go home for sure. Like obviously you were saying like super anti-AI, also anti like just like doom scrolling, sitting on your phone, all that stuff. Like I felt that way when I left the theater. Like I went home and like normally at dinner I'm fucking glued, not paying attention to anything, and like I went home and I didn't want to do that. And I think that if you can elicit a response out of a person watching it like that, I think that's a positive, and especially elicit a positive response, because we shouldn't be doing that. So I think just a banger first half that just kind of tapers off at the end. So 70 out of 100 for me.
Yeah, we talked about, I talked about when you're talking about Wuthering Heights, like I do excuse batshit movies now and then because I just love ideas that kind of go for it and are crazy and out there. And I like this movie a decent amount. 78 out of 100. I really enjoyed it. I like the cast. I love Sam Rockwell, longtime Haley Richardson stockholder. I thought the whole cast in general was like enjoyable. It goes for it. It doesn't quite rein itself in. Gets a little too kind of off the handle probably, and we'll spoil it in a second. I'll let Gooch go when we do that because he let off and he was talking about spoilers. We'll spoil it after Klemmer's review, but I had a really good fun time with most of this, and I don't dislike how it ends either, but it loses itself a little bit. It's another one that I hate. I don't want to. It's not a runtime thing, but like its ideas are a little long in the tooth, maybe, where it's like, oh, okay, like it needs to kind of hone. Like Crazy's great, and I'd say for 80% of it, what it goes for is awesome, but then like the other 20%, it's like, okay, this almost feels like it's crazy for the sake of being crazy. It's like kind of hone it in a little bit, like kind of like let's bring it down, maybe just a level. But I love the cast of this movie. I thought they all worked great, but they all played their roles perfectly, and I was kind of loving all of them and found them pretty enjoyable. And it's kind of hard for me to dislike anything Sam Rockwell does in a lead role like this. So it's a good time, and also kind of gives you, like Kenjac said, it's definitely a movie that kind of, I'm not saying it's the most philosophical, like mind-bending movie, but it definitely like has some weight to it, which I didn't really expect. Like it's trying to say something. So I enjoyed it. 70 out of 100. There's more here than I expected, but probably more than there should have been as well. Klemmer, what did you give it?
I'm at a 52. This plays out like a sloppy version of 12 Monkeys, which is a much better kind of version of this. Guy comes back to the past, which is our present, and tries to warn people. That's just a better movie. The other issue I have with this movie is it feels like you're talking to like a college freshman in a dorm that has all these big ideas,
Yep.
and it's annoying. But at the same token, like I still give it credit for having the ideas. Like ideas are good, but like it's crazy. Gore Verbinski directed this because it feels so immature. It feels like I said, like the espousing of like a 19-year-old that just like read his first philosophy book and thinks he has all the answers. And it's a little bit cloying in that way. But at the same token, it's like, all right, cool, this kid's reading a book. Like, that's awesome. Like, so you're still, like, happy for the kid. At the same token, like, I don't know if I want to hear this kid talk anymore. I don't know, way too long. Third act's, like, bad. It's just bad. There's some elements of this that, like, Kenjac and Gooch said, and you too, Jeff, like, how, like, oh, like, I took that home. You're like, yeah, like, all right, maybe, we are on our phones too much. And there's another thing we'll talk about in spoilers, too. It's like, but these are also, like, no shit, we're on our phone too much. Like, all right, thanks for telling me. Like, I don't know. 52 out of 100. I wish it was tighter. Wish it was better.
I don't mind no shit kind of morality as long as it's presented in like a fun way, right? Like it doesn't need to make me rethink or reshape how I view the world, though. I guess that's kind of my thing. Like I'm fine with that.
And why are you lecturing me then? Like what the movie? I mean, why is the movie lecturing me on this then?
I guess no. I don't hate you for that being a turnoff to you. It just doesn't bother me. Like if it's a good fun time and like enjoyable and put together in kind of a different way, I'm okay if it's a pretty basic like pen to paper, black and white, like moral it's trying to get off there. Like it does. I guess it doesn't like throw me off too much. Gooch, you mentioned spoilers. I'll let you kind of kick it off. You're kind of your main thing that you didn't want to spoil in the first half. We are going to spoil it now.
So, yeah, the movie kind of builds towards this, and it's kind of hinting at it in the background that the phones, like this is coming, like the phones are going to, brainwash people and turn them into, like it's heavily implied, and you see it in the second little flashback with the teachers that something weird is happening. Man, once the full reveal of like how the world goes to shit is, I think, just bad. Like, I think the phone, like them staring at their phones, walking like zombies, just is not a very cinematic way to go about things for the students. And then the kid, the AI had built is like on paper, like you said, Jeff, like I'm on board for movies going fucking bananas and having those crazy ideas in them, but it doesn't work. It just falls flat and feels almost like a bad third act in a Marvel movie because it's all of a sudden this big CGI fest and we're doing like a House of Horrors with the toys on the ground, and all these things can be fun, but it's just not working and it's not handled correctly. And it's not, I think it probably needed a little bit more budget on the back end because, once they have to start using CGI, it starts to look like shit. But like I said, everything up until that point was great. And that's why it's such a big letdown for me. Also, the reveal of Haley Lee Richardson being the mother, I think is just like one of the most telegraphed things from like scene one. And they play it like, oh my God, like right. cannot believe this. But that didn't bother me nearly as much as like, just like the way the world goes to shit, I think is just like, you gotta do something else there. You gotta at least, or if you're going to do it, do that comedically, like with the kids walking, but it's almost played straight. Yeah.
You talk about the CGI being bad, which it was. Did anyone else feel like, why are this whole movie's about how computers are bad? And it's not just AI. Like the whole Haley Richardson stuff is about like computers are bad, pretty much. And then you're using CGI. Like, should you be using practical effects? Like, what are we doing?
I think the computer is necessarily...
It's like a weird hypocrisy. It's like
I get what you're saying, but I mean, I'm also like, I don't know how much like what do you... There's a level of like, I guess they kind of got to do what they got to do, right? If they're gonna make a movie that's that like...
I mean, you could use practical effects. I mean, the movie's kind of weird and goofy anyway.
There is craftsmanship to computer effects. There's no craftsmanship if you're just typing into a prompt. I think that's the idea.
But
there.
the whole Haley Richardson thing, she doesn't have any technology in her home at all, and that's supposed to be kind of like the ideal. That's how it's kind of framed because her boyfriend leaves there.
Well, that's kind of the idea I think we're even talking about here. Is like there's maybe going after too many different ideas that maybe even compare and contrast. Because like there's the anti-AI thing, which like to a regular person should be like a regular thing, right? Because that's just like you're turning into the fucking dudes from Wall-E, you know what I mean? Like out of pure laziness. But then there's also like the anti-screens thing, which envelops the anti-AI thing. You know what I mean? Like it's 2 points that kind of like almost negate each other in a way. Like one is overlapping the other one. So I get the idea. I don't think that I don't think using computer generated graphics that are made by by human beings is necessarily like anti-ethical, whatever, to using or talking about AI or screens or whatever.
I will say the CGI has done no favors, or at least the anti-AI message of the movie is done no favors when the CGI does look that bad and looks comparable to what AI generated stuff.
Yes, that's true too. Yeah.
I don't know how you do the thing that they made, which I guess we're in sports, the cat thing. Like I don't know how you do that in a way.
Why you do that?
Doesn't
Why do it at all?
You don't do it. That's the answer. You don't do
Right.
it. But like I don't know how you do that and make that look realistic or real in any way. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I could see 12-year-olds across the country seeing this movie and loving it though. To Klemmer's point, it's like one of those like it's just smart enough. It's just smart enough for like a 14-year-old to be like, wow, this is really deep. This is like a fun, good time with a deep message. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, to be honest. Like those movies are important.
I mean, do you guys know that school shootings are normalized? Do you guys know that?
They hammer it.
Like, I don't see again. I guess
I like that.
That's a personal thing. That doesn't throw me off the movie. Like I said, like doesn't turn me off. It can be a surface level. It can be a surface level deep movie. I'm putting it in air quotes if you're listening only right now. But if it's a good enough time, I'm okay with that being the vessel. So,
did you guys like the cloning scene? I thought that was amazing.
Like what?
The cloning scene. I thought the cloning scene was awesome. Like that dude that they had play the like the technician or whatever that was like trying to sell her like as a used car, but it was like her son. Like I thought that whole scene was very funny. Enjoyed that quite a bit.
Rockwell is a great sci-fi, like kind of futuristic, otherworldly actor. Moon. I mean, even think about like one of the MCU's, I guess, quote unquote stinkers. Iron Man 2. He's great as Justin Hammer, like a different role. I think he's fun in this. Like I don't like him in anything he's in, but he kind of fits these types of movies well. I don't know why. He just plays into the absurdity so perfectly.
Have you guys seen 12 Monkeys?
Oh yeah.
Of course.
You guys didn't get like crazy 12 Monkeys flashbacks watching this? I felt like it was just so.
It's shot
Like,
so
I don't know.
differently.
I try not to, and I know we just talked about that talking about Heat with Crime 101, but I try not to let that. I mean, if there's similarities or similarities, like whatever, I guess.
I mean, I felt it was more than similarities. I felt like it was like and I guess maybe because I enjoyed Crime 101, there were definitely similarities with Heat there for sure. Which is funny, 'cause I think Heat and 12 Monkeys the same year. But regardless, like, and so maybe we're getting kind of this 90s resurgence here, but like, I felt with this, it felt more like in my face. But maybe because I just didn't like this movie as much.
You could almost say it's like similar to Terminator in that same regard. You know what I mean? Like there's like I feel like a bunch of movies you could almost.
But both
tie
guys
to.
are like wearing garbage. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like, I just
But
felt
look for
very,
sure.
very similar to me.
Yeah,
Great
I
interview,
think-
by the way. Stick around for that interview.
Yes.
He's so smart. Like he's just well spoken and just he's done everything in the industry. It's a really good interview.
Yes, I thought this was a good time, but we all kind of had varying takes on it. If you want something kind of out there that's kind of going for it, having a little bit of fun, may not work for you exactly, but give it a try. Good luck, have fun, don't die. Gore Verbinski, the director, and a solid cat. Hey, Sam Rockwell, just pay the price of admission to see some Sam Rockwell. That's my big takeaway. I feel like everyone can agree on. He's the fucking man. So yeah, it's good luck, have fun, don't die. Our review of that movie. Interview time with Gore Verbinski. We Gooch, Kenjac interviewed the director of Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. Here it is.
All right, we are very happy to have Gore Verbinski in to talk about his new movie, Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. A man from the future arrives at a diner in Los Angeles where he must recruit the precise combination of disgruntled patrons to join him in a one-night quest to save the world from a terminal threat of rogue artificial intelligence. Very happy to have you in, and it's happy to see a Gore Verbinski movie in theaters again.
It's nice to be back.
Yeah.
No kidding.
It's been like close to a decade, I guess, now since your last movie. What made this script sort of stand out versus other projects that might have come across your desk?
I don't know. This was just, I mean, look around you. I think the world's screaming the answer, right? I mean, it's like, I think we all sense something is a little off and something's coming.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you got the update on your phone, but like everything is AI. And I'm like, stop. No, you and I get like some Encyclopedia Britannicas that are like pre-AI, just to have them before this weird 2%, course change, which I think is.
And just wait, they're going to have the AI versions of the Britannica encyclopedias coming to a store near you.
I think they already do.
Oh God.
I mean, it's all online. I don't think they make the books anymore. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Oh, that's disgusting.
And they'll have AI abridged versions of movies, which is why we both stock up on Blu-rays now, because we're like afraid of, because you see movies and TV now, they get abridged, episodes get removed, stuff gets taken out of movies. So like we want whatever pristine cuts we can get.
Greatest hits record of just scenes.
Yes.
Movies.
Need that. And you got Sam Rockwell in this movie, who we are a huge fan of. How exciting is it to get to work with an actor like that? And do you have any favorites of your own from his filmography prior to?
Oh man. I mean, I've gotten to work with some great actors. I got to work with Michael Caine and Chris Walken and Gene Hackman, Johnny Depp, and now I get to say I've worked with Sam Rockwell. I mean, I think he's just a national treasure.
Yes.
Such a, he brings so much energy, and having worked with him now, it's like he does the fucking work. He makes it look easy, but like, no, he does like all the work.
Yeah.
But he has that great, like, fuck it. He's got that great sort of fuck it energy. I don't know. He's like very, when I first read the script, I was like, it has to be Sam. Absolutely.
He has almost like this, it's like a combination of like Shakespearean, but Everman delivery. Where like, it's like a theater type delivery on stuff, but like, that's a guy I could know at the same time, which I think is pretty unique, right?
The first time we met for tacos in 2014, I felt like, that when you have friends from like elementary school, and then you have like other friends you meet later in life, but the friends from elementary school, you're like, you can be, you're you fucked up. Or you can be like super honest with them.
Yeah.
Like they usually just have like kind of, and I felt like that way with Sam. Like we just feel like I've known this guy for a long time.
This movie, I think it leaves you with a lot to think about. Like, for example, when I got back from the showing, I was at dinner and I'm like looking at my phone. I'm like, oh, like I just watched a movie that just taught me, why am I doing this? Like thinking of multiple scenes throughout it. What lessons do you hope people come away from the movie with?
Well, I don't know. I think it's kind of a date night movie. I think it's, go bring your friend to a movie, go and have some pie at Norm's and talk about it. I think it's anxiety reducing as much as it's bonkers. I do feel like I am guilty of that same thing. Wake up in the morning, pick up your phone, and you're just blasted in the face with like the worst news from all over the world.
Yeah.
And that is not good for the old noggin to just every day, like what happened to just like a cup of coffee, your morning ablutions, no, we just wake up and you're like, what?
Email, Twitter, this, that. Yeah.
Totally tweaks your brain.
Yeah.
It's terrible. Also, you just brought up Norm's, which is the diner from the movie, which that's not a spoiler in the trailer. Is Norm's somewhere you go to regularly?
Yeah, I used to go there when I was, broke. I mean, you can get a good meal for very little. And when I was going to film school at UCLA, there was one on Pico that closed now, but and also the one on La Cienega. Yeah, just it's kind of like you get some pancakes and
Yeah, I was gonna ask, do you have a go-to diner order?
Well, they have this like really good like jalapeno burger.
Oh,
It's pretty solid. They got chicken and waffles. It's Norm's.
yeah.
It's not like I was eating at. You guys have this restaurant El Buco.
Uh-huh.
I mean but Norm's has its. Look, there's a reason our guys didn't go to the Navy SEAL Academy to find the heroes for this movie. They went to Norm's Diner. I mean, I kind of feel like that's where they are, the people who are going to save the world.
Exactly.
We actually have a coworker.
I was about to say.
This reminds me of, it just reminded me of it. A long time ago, we were talking about our go-to diner orders, and he said that his number one thing was to get I believe it was flounder stuffed with crab meat. And to me, I was like, you ordered fish at a diner. Like, there's a difference between diner food and restaurant food. And that to me was crazy.
He's a little
nuts, but
I like that. When I was in Serbia, I was like, they brought meat stuffed with meat wrapped in meat. Like, you would literally could not get a vegetable.
it's just all like that's not even allowed in California.
With crab?
Yeah. The diner specifically, if you're at a seafood restaurant, I get it.
Yeah,
but
I don't think I'd go there.
yeah.
Yeah. I'd also add towards the end of this movie, and this has been true throughout your career. Big creative swings in the third act. Is that something that, do you have any hesitancy when you go into those third acts and start taking those big swings, or is it just, are you fearless? Like,
I think you have to. I mean, and I think we just tinker with shit, and sometimes it blows up. I mean, I don't think anybody really knows what they're doing in this industry. Like, what's supposed to work doesn't work. What works doesn't. Sometimes I remember, everybody thought we were crazy when we were doing a pirate movie. Things haven't worked in 30 years. You're insane. But I think that spirit of you don't, like, the wheels are going to fall off, like, you don't know, is really where you want to be, because otherwise you should, I don't know, sell real estate for a living or something.
Yeah. And actually, there's a very good page on Twitter, actually, where it's like images that AI could never replicate. And it's just like things that, like, there's no way a computer could ever figure out the steps to get to this point. And I think a lot of moments in that third act actually resonate with that. Like, there's no way a machine could ever think of things like this.
Well, it'll replicate, but the thing that it won't replicate is, when we make a movie, we're desperately trying not to repeat ourselves. I mean, I think it'll like, it was a Chris Nolan movie. The AI, like, I'm going to make you a Chris Nolan movie, or a Fincher movie, or whatever. But it's not like, the directors are like desperately trying not to, come up with some sort of algorithm that they adhere to.
Yeah. You actually mentioned pirates before. Obviously, we're people with a human soul, so we love Pirates of the Caribbean, and we hear your name come across the desk. We'd love to come talk to you. I read a lot a while back about how a lot of different actors were considered for the role of Jack Sparrow, among like Carrie Keaton, Walken, all these guys. What made Depp the guy versus some of the other people that tried out for the role, or maybe were considered for the role better?
The only time that came, I mean, the very first meeting, we talked to Jerry about Johnny. Well, there wasn't a list. That's interesting. There was a moment when the movie went down where Disney suggested, some people. But we stuck with Johnny. We just felt that was very, very early on. So I don't know. There was nobody we read for the part.
Okay. Oh, it's interesting because they said like they were considering Jim Carrey, they were considering Walken, they were considering these dudes. But
that might have been before me.
That might have been that would make more sense. Also,
no script. So I guess they were got it. They had a ride. And they were considering actors to make a movie about a ride.
Yeah,
that was before
They didn't even come in and read. They just had the actors get on the ride, and they're like, "Does this feel right?"
Yeah,
this looks right.
Do you look excited? Are you having fun? We were just talking about before. Apparently, this is again. You could tell us we're wrong. The Depp had said he wanted to have like no nose in the movie or something like that. That was true.
Yeah, I had to slow talk him out of it.
A little crazy for a family-friendly movie.
Yeah, well. I mean, we got away with a lot.
Yeah.
I think we were going to get away with that.
Yeah.
That would have been tough. Yeah.
And you guys did get away with a lot. There's so many great sequences across that trilogy. And I have to ask, like, which one was, and this is kind of a basic question, which one was the hardest to film, though? Because, I mean, there are some crazy big set pieces.
I mean, the first one was really under-resourced, so it was hard in the sense that they said no to everything. And then the second two were made at the same time. They were hard because if you're not making the studio nervous, you get really nervous. And like fundamentally, I think the first one, I felt like, okay, they're freaking out. We're in a good place.
Oh, all right.
Second two, like, no matter what you're doing, they were like, just keep doing that. And you're like, okay, this is wrong. We need to, like.
We're not pushing boundaries here. Yeah.
Exactly. So I had to kind of like fight to get back to that feeling of you're not sure if it's going to work.
It's kind of funny. We were just talking about it before. Also, the Pirates movies have a foundational part in both of our relationships. Like my now wife, she very intelligent person. History is a total blind spot for her, and so her only exposure to pirates was Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh yeah.
So once we were talking, I think we were watching Black Sails, which is a fantastic show about pirates. And I was talking about how this is a great show, interesting time period, blah blah blah. And she's like, yeah, but that's all fake, right? I go, what do you mean? The pirates, they were fake. Because her exposure to it was only this like supernatural demons of the night, skeletons things. And she thought like, it's all made up. I'm like, wait till you hear it. They're still around today. And then you also had a crazy...
Yeah, I mean, my girlfriend thinks like the end of 3 is like the most romantic scene ever put to cinema. She loves Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley on that beach.
Oh,
yes.
beautiful.
That's maybe a getting away with it.
Yeah.
Probably right.
Yeah.
At least a little bit.
Definitely.
So 2, I would say, is a movie that gets a lot of conversation now because of the world of VFX we live in now. And then you've talked about it recently, just how Unreal Engine and things like that have maybe hurt, not even just hurt, but like the fact that everyone goes to the singular resource, which is video game based, gives it more video game feel.
A response to a question. Like, I think somebody was saying, why are visual effects not looking as good as Davy Jones when we should be advancing from that? I think that was the context of the question. And my response was, I mean, that I don't want to get too techie, but we use quite often use the Unreal Engine when we have to do like a lot of things quickly because it's super facile and it's a nimble tool. People want to stay in there to finish, but like you have this other software engine called Maya, which is just really much better at shadows and shading and lighting and photoreal aesthetics. And I think what's happening is people are just getting lazy. They're like either staying in Unreal to finish, or they're like, we don't even, most shows you don't even start. You just start in Maya, and you work slowly. You're going to be in the right tool for finishing. That's the simplest answer. We can go on and on and on about why.
Yeah,
I think also just the aesthetics of, I think a lot of superhero stuff is sort of like, that's fine. You're creating a world where like somebody can fly or whatever. You're like, that's that world, but it doesn't mean, Kubrick's not rolling over in his grave, kind of going, well, that's not, and I think that starts to get into all kinds of things where just you can make a really good looking helicopter, but it shouldn't fly like that. Like, it needs to buff it. It needs to kind of have mass, and you need to do all those things to kind of keep it honest. And I just generally try to have at least 50% of the frame photographic, so you have something to adhere to. You have these tools that can do anything. Sometimes anything is a problem because you don't have anything to anchor it to.
Yeah. I think something I've noticed, at least as a consumer in this world, is that there are certain directors that have a background in the field where I can depend on them for good VFX, at least good visuals in a movie. Like Neil Blomkamp, I think, is one. Gareth Edwards, Cameron, like guys that all have the background in this field. And I think I don't know if you would agree with you. I don't know if there's a disconnect here between directors and VFX, because you obviously don't have that. Because I feel like in your movies, especially if you look at Pirates, you have a very, I think, symbiotic look. And I read like you spend like 18-hour days in the editing bay and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so what do you think the sort of cohesion between those two, the director and that VFX department, should be like?
Well, I did a lot of visual effects supervision when I was first starting out. Like, it was directing low budget music videos, but then my day job was being a visual effects supervisor on commercials and things like that. So, and I started out right at the beginning of digital optical. So there were still, I could go to places where they had, old school opticals and motion control rigs and learn from those guys who were sort of like the old dinosaurs fading away, and the new stuff was beginning, but the same principles apply. I mean, it's amazing as you get into the digital world. You're trying to put something in front of or something behind something else, and you have occlusion and you have all kinds of interaction issues. The fundamentals are really the same. I think that's kind of an execution. You have the creative. You are kind of, first problem is like, what are you conceiving? Like, if the three of us were sitting here and there was a fourth that was a talking frog with a cigarette and a martini, we'd want him to take the exact same light. We'd want to have the exact same reference to. So you have the kind of creative, what does that character look like? What is he saying? What is he interacting with? And then you have the visual effects process of like, how are we going to shoot that? I would typically also have some sort of practical thing that we would put here. It might have the skin or represent the color or the texture, just so when we get in the computer, when we're in that situation, we're like, it doesn't look right. You can then pull out, like if I was going to make this cup dance, I would shoot the cup, and then we'd shoot a plate and we'd have a CG cup, but I could always go, hold on,
let's look at the reference.
Cup.
Yeah,
your cup doesn't look like that. Like, and so I think having reference is really helpful.
Wow. And I'd be remiss if I did not. Sorry.
Check one.
Sorry, mics.
Would be remiss if I did not bring up one of my favorite animated movies of all time, and that is Rango. Is animation something you'd ever return to? Because it feels like you showed up and you just knocked it right out of the park.
Well, we didn't. it's a really interesting. It's a completely different process. I like it a lot. I mean, I think we made that movie Rango not in the way you make an animated movie. We made that much more in the way.
It's called emotion capture, wasn't it? Or that's what I was reading about it.
Well, which is just a word we made up because we shot the actors together in a room rather than individuals. But also we kind of used the visual effects model. So on a film like Pirates, there are thousands of visual effects shots, and you have so everything is a kind of shot specific discussion. You have a construction of the next shot. In animation, you'll spend years kind of developing a story reel, doing all of these. You might make the movie 7 times. We kind of applied a visual effect. It was like, this is the shot, then this is the shot. It's exactly what's going to happen. And so we were able to build the entire film more specifically and then execute it at ILM. So it has a different look, but it also, that process didn't really apply the same. I don't know if I'm being clear. It didn't apply. I don't know how to make an animated movie, but I know how to make shots.
Yeah.
Right. So I was like, and a story is shots. So I just went, let's go make a story of shots. And the one thing I did want to do is have all the actors in one place so that we can get a lively soundtrack. So it felt like it was all occurring because everything is, you have to manufacture anomaly.
Yeah, I was about to say that's not the norm at all, is it? In terms of voice actors recording their room, usually they're all separated. So, do you think that adds to the performances? I mean,
I think I think both ways work. It's really what works for the director. I think whatever you're most comfortable with. I like intention and discovery. And I think those two things are powerful tools. If you don't have intention, you're gonna mediocrity sort of nipping at your heels the entire time. So intention might be, I've got this script. I want, it's just a bank heist. Is it going to be like an unusual bank? Like, how do you take a kazoo and make it a lobster phone or something? How do you make something silly into something absurd? Or, they're just little things you're doing all the time to kind of bring intention to it. And then you also want to go, okay, well, I don't want so much intention that I'm blinding myself to the gifts that may occur along the way. And that might be what an actor might do when he collides with another actor. Like, I didn't know you were going to say that. So, now I'm kind of awkwardly
serendipity.
And then so you want to get that, you're a butterfly net. You want to capture those moments and make them authentic. And that's a kind of a back to Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. I mean, that opening sequence with Sam was all about that. It was you don't usually start your movie with an 11-page opening monologue. So, intention, storyboarding and blocking it out, breaking it down. It's shots and sequences, how we're going to move around the diner, etc. But then also going, but it's Sam Rockwell. So like, don't box the guy in. Like, do it in a way that he can continue to surprise you.
How does that work too in a movie? I'm maybe curious how the shot order worked with this with Do You Like to Have Fun, Don't Die? Because obviously you have like flashback sequences, but also you have to be able to build the chemistry between Rockwell and his crew. And so, like, did you shoot the diner first, or did you go back to it later?
Diner first
to get everything together.
Yeah, I mean, that was essential. That was the one. I kind of feel like the rest of the movie, I know how to make that diner monologue. We're sort of asking the audience what he's asking the patrons, which is, do you believe, are you going to come along for this ride? So if that doesn't work, we're doomed. I think getting that right was kind of the most important.
Oh, and it was so kinetic too. When he starts like jumping up on the tables and doing all these crazy flips and it was literally like an insanely choreographed sequence too.
Yeah, it's almost a musical number. It's not a musical number, but
it's got that feel to it for sure. Yeah. It was very, very cool. So we want to get you some rapid fire questions before we let you go. First one being, who is an actor that people may be surprised to hear audition for a role in one of your movies?
I wish I had a rapid fire answer. Wow. Surprised to audition for a role. I don't know. I mean, I've met a lot of actors for roles, but a lot of actors, I can reverse that question. I met a lot of actors for The Ring and Naomi Watts Red.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And that was an interesting. So the studio wanted me to meet, Gwyneth Paltrow and a lot of different actors. I met, wonderful actors. But in that process, nobody wanted to, like, the agents are like, she's not reading. You'll have lunch, and in the meantime, Naomi put herself on tape, and I was like, well, that's her. And
Yeah.
And then the agents are like, well, what happened? You know, and you're like, well, somebody read
Yeah.
the part. Like,
Yeah.
if you're not willing to read for the part, you're not going to get the part.
Yeah.
And that was interesting because she was not a big name, and the studios were, a lot of people were sort of, well, we still want you to meet some other bigger names. And I sent that tape to Spielberg, and he was like, that's her.
I think that's pretty definitive for your studio too. Like, hey, Spielberg said
a
yes.
little bit of an end around. You know,
Yeah.
got directly to the man. But
If you could get a blank check to create any unrealized project, is there one that you have in mind?
wow.
It's like
I got
eye in the sky.
Yeah. No, I got a really crazy animated sci-fi musical.
I'm sold.
That we wanted to try to take the Rango and kind of push the boundaries. Called Cattywampus, that we recorded with a great cast: Anderson Paak and her and
shit.
Kenneth Williams and Ice Cube and Glenn Close. I mean, just really great cast. We have everything's ready to go into animation. That one would be a great one to get a check. There's some other movies along the way, and BioShock would have been a good.
Oh, BioShock would be sick. Yeah.
That would have been really nice.
I think you had Gambit too at some points, right?
Yeah, that was more of a flirtation.
Gotcha.
I don't think we were. That was a very short kind of what if.
Gotcha.
Exploration.
Yeah. Gotcha. What is one, if you could have one movie scene, because I think this happens with a lot of not even just directors, but writers, whatever, any creative. If you could go back in time and redo a scene, maybe there's something where after it came out, you're like, I wish I tweaked this. I wish I moved this after everything was already out. Is there one scene you would change in retrospect?
God, everything. I mean, you're never. It is like they take the movie away. You know, at some point they come out. Wow. I think I made it. My second film was called The Mexican, and I think I could have worked more on the script. I think prior to, or it was a weird one because it cast up really big right at the last minute. We were scouting. We're gonna make this little kind of Shaggy Dog a narrative, and then at the last minute it was like Brad
Pitt.
Julia Roberts, and it was like, hindsight would say this movie cannot hold that. Like they're not together. Yeah, he's in Mexico. She's like, they're not even on screen together for most of the movie. There's things that you start to learn, like, okay, there are expectations when you cast a movie like that.
Yeah.
That you can't just put upon a certain. I think a lot of people were. Also, it was sort of sold as something that. Anyway,
that happens a lot.
I think we were very happy with the screenplay. Joel Weinman's screenplay. We really enjoyed it, and we kind of were like, okay, we believed in it, and then something in the process was like it tilted a little bit.
We talked about Pirates of the Caribbean earlier. Talked about the theme park ride. If there was another theme park ride that you legally had to make a movie about,
Oh my God.
is there one? Are you a theme park ride guy at all?
Not really.
Had you been on the ride before you did the?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I was like
Yeah.
6 years old when I was on that ride. I loved that ride. I don't think it's so much that would be like an IP question. Like, is there IP you're interested in?
I think it's harder though.
It's just a weird brand of IP though. You know what I mean?
I know. I think that was more the case of like, do you want to make a pirate movie? Like when Jerry Bruckheimer said, we'd talked over the years about doing things, and he said, how about a pirate movie? And I'm like, yes.
Okay.
So, and then it was like, and the excuse is, it's based on a ride. Like,
Yeah.
we're actually going to get the funding because it's based on a ride, but don't worry about that. We're making a pirate movie.
So then how about, if not pirates, if not Westerns, is there another time period or, knights, samurais? Is there any kind of other era or setting you would want to go into? Yes. Yeah.
All of those. I mean, sci-fi is I'm a fan of sci-fi, but it's kind of like it's kind of a Western, really. That frontier. And I think pirates is sort of a Western too, in some ways, a Western on water.
I don't know. Someone's having a good time out there.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just kind of, I like things I don't know how to do as well. I mean, I like those genres, but I would make a rom-com. Like if it was a good one, like if it was.
We need more of them.
We do.
I don't know. I think it just has to speak.
Mhm.
You have to answer that question. Why must I tell this story? Like if you can't answer that question, you have no business because you're going to be 30 days into a,
Yeah,
60-day
gosh.
shoot going, you're asking people to follow you through the jungle with a machete and the crew's going to, they're going to see it's not there.
You don't have a map.
If you're not like, this is what we're doing, like, I have to do this,
Yeah.
and if you have to do it, you'll do it with, sock puppets and the lights you can carry in a station wagon. You'll figure out a way to do it. And that's kind of what we had to do with this one. I mean,
Mhm.
it was really, I think Sam's, Jack is
Oh, it's so cool. It's so cool.
It's like a metaphor for the whole movie. And we had to go to Apex Electronics and I was like
Shit,
picking out little pieces. We had to make that thing ourselves. Like the whole movie was handcrafted.
That's like a shower curtain, right? The actual object part is so cool. What is a movie or show that you like that you think deserves more love or more adulation, I guess?
I really liked this show called Patriot.
Oh, it was so good. Didn't the writer of
The Weatherman, yeah.
Yeah.
Conrad's show.
Really good.
Like really, I just loved it.
Yeah, Amazon has a Prime show. That was a really good show. I remember that got recommended to me as kind of the same thing you're saying, where it's like very underappreciated. Not enough people were seeing them. I'm like, all right, I'll try it out. And I was glued.
Yeah, same cinematographer who did. So it was interesting because I called Steve and I said, hey, who was your cameraman on Patriot? Because I thought you guys did some great work. And he said, it's your guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? And he's like, it's James Whitaker, who I had done a music video with for Crystal Method like 200 years earlier.
Yeah.
So it was really interesting to reconnect with James.
I knew there was a connection to the movie. I was just like, wait, what was it? I remember seeing the Patriot while I was doing IMDb research, whatever. Yeah, that's awesome.
And you bring up music videos. We'll close it out here. You started, I think, early in your career making music videos. Is there any artist or band today that you would want to, go back and do that for?
Oh, wow. Wow.
We don't have a lot of rock bands anymore.
Yeah, and there's not, and I don't know that people watch. Do people watch music videos? I guess
I feel like
on YouTube.
Yeah, there's some that like really stand out, but it needs to be like an exceptional thing. But not a lot of people.
Yeah. I keep MTV Classic on in my home when I'm just working from home, and that's just nice. But yeah, it's all 80s and 90s and some 2000s. But
yeah, I don't. I like so many different. All the music videos I would want to do would be like for some dead artist or something.
If you could resurrect someone.
Yeah, I mean, I've been listening to like a lot of like Nigerian funk from the 70s.
Nigerian funk.
Fela Kuti and Tony Allen and it's I don't see music videos from that period. So if I could go back in time, I'd try to shoot one of those.
It's kind of interesting. There's a lot of, I think, like directors that get their start in music video directing. It's kind of interesting how that medium sort of shifted, and also actors like
Glazer for doing Zone of Interest and having done the Jamiroquai. Jamiroquai music
something
video.
Reality. What is it?
Yeah, Virtual
Insanity.
Yeah,
that's an amazing music video too.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of tools you can explore. It's interesting how I think there was like, if you go back to like Ridley, it was like the first round of like commercial directors who started doing movies.
Yeah.
And then there was like second round, I think, with David Fincher and some, and people doing some music videos into commercials, into features was a path. And then I think now there's a lot more from the writing side.
Sure.
I'm writing. It's like, I sold a script, I sold another script. And by the third one, I'm negotiating to direct it.
Yeah, look at Sheridan. Great example. Like Sheridan basically runs Paramount now, now I guess Universal. But him. I mean, I think McGee did music videos too. I think there's a couple other random directors.
Oh yeah.
You did the Budweiser Frogs commercial, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Ages and ages ago. Absolutely iconic stuff. But again, good luck, have fun, don't die. I think a movie like I said when I was asking questions earlier, it's a movie that really sticks with you. You think about it a lot after you leave, which is I think more than you can say about a lot of movies that come out. Really appreciate that. And I think you're going to go home, you're going to sit at dinner like I did, and you're going to be like, take out your phone and like mindlessly doom scroll, and you're going to be like, let's take some time and actually live and experience stuff for a little bit. But it's really fun. Make sure you watch it. Thank you so much, Gore, for hanging out with us.
Thanks. I really appreciate it.
Fellas, you already know what time it is. It's time to level up. And BlueChew just dropped something crazy. I'm talking next level championship belt gold-plated energy. BlueChew Gold is the newest innovation from the #1 chewable ED brand. This ain't your grandpa's little blue pill. This is the 4-in-1 beast that's setting the gold standard for performance. We're talking 2 ingredients for blood flow to keep that rocket pumping, mixed with apomorphine and oxytocin to turn up the arousal and connection in your brain and body.
BlueChew Gold dissolves under your tongue and works in as little as 15 minutes. That means you can get it on quicker and stay in the game longer. Elevation without hesitation. This is peak passion and peak performance in a single tablet. If your bed could talk after this, it'd be asking for a break. Make life easier by getting harder and discover your options at BlueChew.com. And we got a special deal for our listeners. Get 10% off your first month of BlueChew Gold with code BIGSCREEN. That's promo code BIGSCREEN. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank BlueChew for sponsoring this podcast.
All right, let's get into some news, some movie news. Quickly off the top, rest in peace to James Van Der Beek. There wasn't a ton of movie news this week, and that was kind of the big takeaway. Very sad. 48 years young. Obviously, it had been pretty well documented in the last couple months or years, maybe, that he was sick. Unfortunately, lost him. Celebrated online for various different projects. Whether you want to hit up Dawson's Creek, I saw a lot of Varsity Blues memes, a lot of screenshots, a lot of clips of that. So rest in peace to someone who, again, at the age of 48, is like so young, but a kind of staple in Hollywood since the 90s.
Go get those colonoscopies. That's what I went and got one because of him. Honestly, like I saw his picture in the paper, saw how much he was struggling. He's about my age, and seems to be a guy that had this lovely life living on a farm with his 6 kids and his wife. And like, man, this guy, it was just really eye opening. I went and got him, and sure enough, they found 3 things. Luckily they were small and they got him early. But yeah, I mean, if you're over 40, go get your colonoscopy. That's what James Van Der Beek was saying. And he also had this beautiful message. I know it went kind of viral online about what it means to love yourself and to appreciate things. It's one of his last videos, but he seemed like a really thoughtful, caring, lovely man.
He also was in I'm thinking of random things he's been in. I forgot he was in that that short Power Rangers movie that blew up the internet in 2015 and went crazy. Remember that? It changed the course of them making that other Power Rangers movie, and it was cease and desisted, but then people were so mad about it, they put it back online. It was kind of crazy. So I was just kind of looking through his filmography. I totally forgot he was in that. So rest in peace to James Van Der Beek. 2 trailers we're going to talk about, shifting gears and tones. Adventures of Cliff Booth. This was a big out-of-nowhere trailer during the Super Bowl. Netflix kind of has a tendency to do this. Would have been sick if they just dropped the movie, by the way. They just fucking released it like they did for that Cloverfield movie. Cloverfield Paradox, remember that? They did not. It's not out yet. We have no idea when it's going to come out. I'm not sure what the theater distribution is going to be on this, if at all. So TBD from Netflix. Stars Brad Pitt, Scott Conn, Elizabeth Debicki, Yahya Abdul-Mateen, Holt McElhaney. Written by Quentin Tarantino, directed by David Fincher. It's a Once Upon a Time in Hollywood spinoff of Cliff Booth, the character which Brad Pitt won an Oscar for. Who knows if we'll get one again? I have no idea. I am excited for this. I'm a huge fan of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, one of the best movies I've ever seen. I don't know what to expect out of this, though. I really, really do not. Trailer didn't do a whole lot for me, other than just get me excited that this is actually happening. We don't really know what it's about. We don't really know where, when it's set, what's going to happen. But we got some early shots of it, so it's shot and it's happening, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where to put my expectations on this one. And Fincher's not exactly had a great last couple movies. We'll put it that way. And David Fincher is one of the greatest directors ever. Has made some of the greatest movies ever. But his last couple years have been less than ideal, I think most would say, of a guy who is known as one of the greats. So. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I'm looking forward to this, but I don't know what to expect, I guess I would say.
The Killer was good, but I didn't like Mank. You're right, Jeff. It's definitely underwhelming from what you'd expect from Fincher for sure. I'm with you, Jeff. This is the original is one of my favorite movies of all time. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, it's incredible. No idea what to expect.
Yeah. I do think, and this is maybe more of a Leo thing than anything, the fact that he turned it down, despite I think Netflix offered him some insane amount of money to come back for it, and he's like, I don't think I want to do that. It makes me a little bit worried.
He doesn't do sequels though.
Yeah, that's his rule or whatever. But I'm sure if the script was good enough, or if Tarantino was coming back to do it, he would have said yes. But it's
it's just kind of I don't know what to trust out of Fincher right now, just within the partnership with Netflix, like in that sort of context or whatever. So like, yeah, I'm definitely excited because Fincher is a great filmmaker. Like we know what he's capable of, and this is a cool story, and it's Brad Pitt playing a character which we saw but we loved. So all that's good. It's just I just feel so hesitant about it.
Yeah. I really, and I'm excited for this. I mean, this is David Fincher directing a fucking Tarantino script. Like, there's just no way, there's no world in which if you like movies, you're not like at least a little excited for this. However, I need to see how they're releasing this. The fact that they are not giving a release date is really worrying me. Like, this has to be in a movie theater. It's just, it does. It does. It has to be in a movie theater. Needs to be rolled out. This is Brad Pitt starring in a fucking David Fincher movie written by Tarantino. Put this in a goddamn theater. Fincher, wake the fuck up.
There is a Fincher look to it. It's got the colorization of a Fincher movie, which is obviously a very different style than Quentin Tarantino. Fincher he's a digital guy too. He likes things in a way that is typically very different than a lot of directors, I think, in his class. So that's weird to me. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's just like it's the Tarantino-y thing being like zapped through a machine and coming out as Fincher is just like it's a little jarring. But I'm looking forward to Adventures of Cliff Booth. We have no idea when, how, what, where, anything other than who's in it. So we'll see. Adventures of Cliff Booth coming soon to Netflix, I guess. And then Spider-Noir. This is a show. This is easy to follow. Premieres on MGM Plus on May 25th, and then the rest are going to be on Amazon Prime Video as well. So I don't okay. Nick Cage so this is sort of it's a sort of spinoff. I gotta find so they don't have full rights to Spider-Man. Even though Andy Pascal, Norton Miller.
It seems like no one does.
No one knows.
No one has full rights to
It's
Spider-Man.
weird. So it's not Ben Parker. It's Ben Reilly. It's Spider-Noir. It's not Spider-Man Noir, which is how you would know him in the Spider-Verse movie. So it's based on the Nick Cage Spider-Man Noir character from Spider-Verse. You're going to get a bunch of known Spider-Man villains, but in different ways. Like, so I think Sandman's in it. Molten Man. There's a bunch of other random things in it. It's just this classic thing with Spider-Man where it's like, how can we make it all more confusing and jumble people's brains? And of course, it wouldn't be a Spider-Man project without another Spider-Man movie coming out. Like they refuse to ever release things like they always got to be so close to the word. It's gonna just look. I'm not saying it's rocket science, but there is a little bit to like we all love these things, right? Like we all love movies, but like. We are not the mainstream. We are not the average moviegoer at all. And I don't blame an average movie person if they're like, what the fuck? Like, what? Why do they release things so close? Anyway, I thought it looked cool. My main statement on this is they're coming out with a black and white version and a color version. If you watch the color version, you're a coward. Like, and it's kind of pathetic that they're even releasing it. Like, it's like, why even offer it up? The entire... Like this isn't like George Miller releasing the black and white, or was it sepia toned Mad Max? What was it? What was the
Zack Snyder?
What was the non black and white version?
Mad
Or,
Max,
was it black and white or
something? Was
yeah
something? Wasn't it like something? Oh fuck.
Yeah, whatever. It's not like that, right? Where he's offering a different version of the no. This is the Vision. The character is the character from Spider-Verse because he's black and white and he's noir and he's different. Just offer that. That's what it is. That's what the people liked. So just do that. But whatever. They're offering
what noir is. Noir is shadows and like it's all black and white for a reason. You can't have it be color.
I thought we were already covered on a black and white Spider-Man.
Oh, gotcha. I get. Sorry, it took me a second.
They need to offer like an old timey. I didn't watch the trailer, but I did look at the screenshots, which look very nice, very very nice. I like the way this looks. But do they talk in this? And if they do they use the old timey voice? Like, are we gonna get a Nick Cage like, hey, Vulture, put that down?
No,
I'm swinging. I'm gonna swing right over to ya.
The trailer had him kind of in a normal Nick Cage voice, which was really odd in 1930s New York.
But that is sort of what he's like though in Spider-Verse though.
I mean,
Yeah.
I like weird ideas. I don't know if this is necessarily something I'm thrilled to watch, but I appreciate them trying. I just wish, like you said, Jeff, the timeline made more sense. This is just going to confuse people, especially if it's going to be on all these, I don't know,
I do think
MGM, Amazon. I mean, I don't know.
I do think Spider-Man and Batman are like the two characters where you can kind of fuck around and just like keep throwing them out, and I don't think people even really care. I don't. I think like the two Batman movies running at the same time won't like cause any problems. I think these are like just such staple characters. Like they are just so ingrained into society at this point.
And also, if we're
Yeah,
being
also, I think,
completely fucking blunt here, the movie's gonna make a shitload of fucking money, and that's gonna be the thing people mostly care about. If any of these things gets hurt by it, it's gonna be this, which is unfortunate, but that's the reality of the situation. It just cracks me up that they always like two Batman movies coming out isn't normal. This is now normal for them. Is releasing multiple Spider-Man things close together. Like it's funny. It always works that way. I don't know why they always do that, but that is what they do. Anyway, those are the two trailers. Anything you guys been watching?
Yes, Swamp Thing is up for Super Critics, which Robbie and I did not like. Robbie hated it. This week we're doing Superman 3, Richard Pryor. So that should be up on Thursday. But and also I saw Whistle, which is a horror movie. Not very good. I do not recommend that.
Did you see Goat yet?
I have not yet. I'm seeing that next week. Goat, right?
AK animated Marty Supreme.
Oh, really? All right.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of. I mean, the tagline, the tagline is "You're never too small to dream big."
Yes, in
And it's on a
orange
ping
too.
pong. We saw the standee at the Penn State, or what do you call it, the AMC? It was the exact same thing. It was crazy.
It's
Goat good?
it's whatever. It's a whatever animated movie. It's like fine.
Better or worse than LeBron's foray into
It's better than Space Jam 2. It's definitely
Is it better than
Space Jam
Speak?
2.
The Chris Paul Sneaks, the Chris Paul one from last year. That was terrible.
Yeah, one of your favorites of the year, right?
Thunderstruck.
Oh, that was so bad. Poor Chris Paul. I can't do anything.
Sneaks was one of the, I think probably one of the 10 worst movies of the year last year. Maybe
It's pretty bad. Yeah.
bad. Yeah, Thunderstruck with Kevin Durant, another classic. Now, Goat's fine. It comes and goes. But it's like Marty Supreme. It's like I saw Cold Storage with Joe Keery and Georgina.
I'm seeing that
Campbell.
tomorrow.
That was whatever. Not many thoughts on that. Kind of an out there wacky movie, but doesn't totally work. And then Tyler Perry's Joe's College Road Trip, which is
Wait, what?
yeah, one of the worst. It's on Netflix. No, I mean terrible. It's terrible. Tyler Perry, obviously most of his movies are Tyler Perry's blank, but the possessive Perrys and Joes, Tyler Perry's Joe's College Road Trip, just drop the Tyler Perry for this movie. Like it doesn't need to. That doesn't work. Not a good movie. And I do want to see. I'm excited to see. I'm going to see it at some point, maybe this week. Hopefully, you don't have to wait till the weekend. But Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie, which people seem to fucking love. I'm excited to see that.
You saw it, Gooch?
Yeah, I saw it. Impossible to really describe as a movie, but just completely challenges what the form, like really challenges what the form can be, what you can do with storytelling in like the modern age in a very fun way. There's a joke in the movie that is about the hardest I've laughed in a theater in 5 years. Like it's a really, really funny movie, but there's one joke that fucking kills me, and you guys will know exactly what it is when you see it. Oh, so funny. Highly recommend, by the way. If it's playing near you, and I think it is playing wide now, it's definitely playing at every Alamo in the country. I think that was one of their big rollouts. Go check it out, because like I said, it's a movie for the internet age, while also retaining its like validity and respectability as a movie. Good stuff.
Caught up on the Pit. The Pit rocks. It's so fucking good. And it's so hard. I hate these shows. I do not like hospital dramas at all. It's so goddamn good. And Night of the Seven Kingdoms is like, this is the most like, there's an episode coming out tonight. Like we're recording in the morning of Sunday. And like, this is as excited as if I've been for anything Game of Thrones since like the heyday of like the great seasons, like 5 or 4, 5, 3, whatever. Like it captured everything that I loved about the original series. And I think maybe a lot of that is just Ira Parker understanding, like, I need to maybe adhere more to what George R.R. Martin writes, because he has an understanding of his own characters versus
I forget the guy who runs House of the Dragon, who he hates. But man, it rocks, and it's so charming and super lovable. We're really liking it so far.
I also got a couple things in the mail. Playtime, one of the greatest movies ever made.
Oh yeah.
I got in the box set as well on Criterion from Jacques Tati, but it's one of the greatest things I've ever seen. So I had to get the separate version on its own in 4K, 310 to Yuma in 4K at Criterion. That finally came in,
Nice.
recent release.
Oh yeah.
And then 2 steelbooks, Ben-Hur. Good movie, not as good as the more recent remake. That one's obviously, the remake is obviously one of one. An
Tony
all-timer.
Cavill.
And then finally on 4K, and I have not popped it in yet, one of my 5
Nice.
greatest movies ever made, All the President's Men. Though I will note, my custom steelbook's way cooler than whatever fucking design this shit is. But even though they're very similar, but I don't know what the fucking black bars at the top are. It's kind of lame. But it's in 4K. And I'm very excited to throw it in because I will tell you what, the Blu-ray of that movie fucking stinks. It does not look great. So hopefully the 4K remaster is much better. One of the greats. I'd buy any copy of All the President's Men over and over again. So yeah, that's what I picked up this week.
I got a small haul. We got Fargo. Yeah, this one is my favorite, I think. Inside Man
yeah.
with a ticket, $7.50 to go watch Ride Along 2.
Oh, nice.
Fuck yeah.
Phantom Thread, and West Side Story, and then lastly, one of my favorite Hong Kong action movies ever, Dragons Forever. Banger movie. Jackie Chan and all of his buddies. It is some of the coolest fight scenes I've ever seen in my life are in that movie. Like because back then in the 80s, 90s Hong Kong, there were no laws protecting stuntmen, and they just abused the shit out of them. Like, and did stuff where like you would get thrown in jail if you try to film now.
I also wanted to note on one thing, which I'm very disappointed about. The Project Hail Mary trailers are a joke.
Because they give too much away, right?
Yeah, I've actually avoided the trailers, but when I walked into the theater, the timing of it, which one of the movies I saw, by the way, the projector broke. That was a fucking nightmare. I don't know. I sat down and I don't think I realized it. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, what is this? I go, this is like, did they like lose the file for the first trailer? And they're like, we got to do it again. They forget, like they just showed everything. It's like a completely, almost every shot in this trailer is different than the first one. Why not just like change it up a little bit? It gives away so much. And I'm like disgusted that I saw it.
Why are you doing this?
It's one of the most more baffling decisions with the movie. Because again, it's a movie that people apparently say is very good.
When Kenjac and I went to go see Crime 101, it was in the IMAX, and they had like a 4-minute preview of Project Hail Mary. It felt like maybe like second act stuff, but still like, why are we doing this? Like, why? I want to see this movie. Stop showing me the fucking whole movie. I'm really excited to see this movie.
I was gonna say the worst trailer. I think the worst offender of that recently is that new Colleen Hoover movie, where they literally give you in every single plot beat, start to finish, is in that trailer. Where I forget the name of it. Shit, like
Verity.
Was it?
Is it Verity?
No. It's
the
like
one. Yeah.
the girl kills her husband in a drunk driving accident and like goes to jail and then comes back and
Bradley
starts
Whitford's
dating.
mad she's back.
Starts dating his friend and helping raise her kid again. Like every single plot point from this movie is in that trailer. Every single one. There's no point in watching it. It's crazy. It's got Tyreek Withers in it.
Yeah, with Micah Monroe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What is that one called?
It's like Forgetting
Lauren
You or
Graham,
Forgiving You.
Bradley
or
Whitford.
some
Yeah, I
shit.
think that's right. Regretting You too.
Yeah,
Regretting too.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it.
But no, the Project Hail Mary thing, it is they must have gotten some feedback that it just is not getting traction with the movie.
It's on a lot of most anticipated lists though. Like it's not a movie that people aren't talking about. It's been marketed well. I got a piece of literature from Alamo Drafthouse, their top 10 most anticipated of 2026. And it's on there. It's on, like they surveyed their whole like membership base, and it's 7. It's ahead of Devil Wears Prada, Mandalorian Grogu, Supergirl, and then it's only behind Disclosure Day, Werewolf, Spider-Man Brand New Day, Avengers Doomsday, The Odyssey. Shout out my fellow Alamo Drafthouse goers, Dune Part 3 #1. But it's on there. Yeah, my fellow fans of art at Alamo. But no, I mean that's obviously a very super mainstream, widespread voting pool, but it's on there. So like maybe you're right, Gooch. Maybe they got feedback. I don't know, but it's like And like, but at the point of when I realize what I'm watching, I'm like, I can't leave now. Like, whatever. They've ruined it enough for me. So I was disappointed. That's one of those like movie things. Like, how are you still doing that in 2026? You can find a way to market a movie without giving away fucking every. And again, it's not even like they gave a couple extra scenes from the first trailer. It's a completely brand. It's as if they lost the file of the first one and cut up a brand new trailer with all new scenes. It's very strange. Comes out very soon too. But if it's good, it's good. Whatever. But it's like I wish I hadn't fucking seen any of that shit. Should come with a spoiler tag on it. It's like it's insane. Very, 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 very weird. Also, someone in my audience in the last movie I saw hit like a clap at the end of the drama trailer. I was like, wow, okay, pervert. It's a little much. Clapping for the end of the drama trailer. I don't know. Speaking of perverts, horniest movies, top 10 horniest movies. You can a little bit of creative liberties on this one too. I don't think that's like a super defined thing. I think like here's my take on this. I think like the amount of nudity is irrelevant to how horny a movie can be. I'd almost say less is more. So let's see what people have ranked top 10 horniest movies in honor of Wuthering Heights. Klemmer, number 1. What is it?
I'm gonna go with 9.5 weeks. This is the Kim Basinger, Mickey Rourke movie from the 80s. This is something else. Basically, Mickey Rourke if you haven't seen it, from the 80s, Mickey Rourke plays a Wall Street stockbroker, meets Kim Basinger, and then basically kind of like makes her, I don't say a sex slave, but kind of has her do more and more just provocative and strange things. I believe Adrian Lyne directed it, and Adrian Lyne is one of like the horniest director. I think he'd be like your 1-1 choice. Just a bizarre, bad movie. This isn't a good movie, but this director, I imagine, just walks around all the time with like a giant erection because this guy's always horny. This guy is so horned up. It's a bizarre movie, but the horniest thing I've ever seen by far. I'd say this is like 1-1 by a mile for me.
That movie came out. Also, I mean, Adrian Lyne did Flashdance, did Jacob's Ladder, but also did another recent one, which is not going to be on my list. And I've seen 9.5 Weeks. Not a good movie, but agreed that is a good pick. Did another one that I was kind of looking at like lists. Deep Water with Ben Affleck and Ana de Armas from 2022.
Oh, wow.
Terrible movie.
That's crazy.
Terrible movie.
Bad.
He did, yeah. He's done a lot. He's an interesting director, and I will say some of the visuals in 9.5 Weeks actually are pretty interesting. Besides insane nudity, but like the way things are shot are interesting. There's just no story or rhyme or reason to why people are doing things, except for just because the director was horny.
I'll tell you what, Ana de Armas's filmography is an unbelievable mix of like elite and absolute dog water. It's an amazing mix. It really is.
It's bad. It's like mostly terrible. It's gotten to the point like where if she's not with like a really great director, I'm just like, this is gonna be bad.
It's gonna be bad.
If she's in on it, it's not. She's in bad waters right now. Although I didn't hate Ballerina, I should say. All right, I got the second pick.
She came Ballerina. She did that movie with Wagner Moore, which is pretty good too. Although she's not like the star of it. Like, I don't know. Just it's not been great though.
Yeah. Number 2, anyways. This is a classic. We've all seen it. Everyone listening to this podcast probably seen it. Top Gun. Top Gun is one of the horniest movies ever made. This is true for a lot of Tom Cruise's filmography, where the director shoots him like they want to fuck him. And boy, oh boy, do they want to fuck him and Val Kilmer in this movie, and they want those two characters to fuck. It is, homoerotic is like not, that's almost not giving it justice. Like, this is gay porn. This is straight up gay porn at points. But it works. I love it. The horniness only makes it better. It's patriotic and horny at the same time. It's so bizarre and one of a kind. Love that movie. Love it. But I think Top Gun has to be on this list.
The tension between Maverick and Iceman, I think you could go up against anything in Wuthering Heights. Like that is.
Yeah, I think so too.
Oh.
The homoeroticism is on full tilt.
When Val Kilmer chomps his teeth in Tom's face, you think he's gonna bend him over that fucking bench right there in that locker room. Like, it's crazy.
You don't teeth chomp. There's no straight teeth.
You don't teeth chomp right up in the nose. No.
Yeah, it's a good pick. Kenjac 3.
There are two directors I think that are two of the horniest directors, and a lot of my picks are going to come from both of them. I think one that really stood with me for a while would be Showgirls, that by Verhoeven. It's one of the most like diabolically horny movies I think ever made, and and this is gonna be true for most things Verhoeven for sure. He's like a sick Dutch bastard, man. He loves showing off like dicks and butts and boobs and everything, and like he just loves it more than anything. And it is a deeply erotic movie, and I think that it is just there's barely a frame in this that isn't designed to make you horny. And I think that this movie just immediately shoots to the top of that ranking for me. So I got to go Showgirls.
It's a good pick.
Yeah, it's a good pick. It's a good top
great.
40.
Who's the star in Showgirls? She is smoking hot too. I forget who it was.
In Showgirls?
Yeah.
Gina Gershon?
No, Elizabeth
Berkley?
Elizabeth Berkley, yeah. She was.
And you got, and that came out when I was 16, so I can say with full confidence.
You
that
shot
it's
some
one of
low
the
stuff
horniest movies of all
to
time.
Showgirls. So we. Gina Gershon though, that was a great call too. She is also very very hot in that.
Number 4, I already talked about this movie today. One of my favorites of all time, Romeo plus Juliet. Really just, I mean, this is partly the director. Every scene is like sexy in this movie. It's like, it's probably over the top. I love it. I've well documented as one of my favorite movies ever made. It's so ridiculous. The party scene, the Capulet party scene alone is just so over the top horny, in your face in every way, shape, and form. Some of it like gross throughout the movie of like, this is so fucking cheesy, but I just love that. I love it. Love this movie, the colors, all the shots. Give me this trash 8 out of 7 days of the week. I'll take it. I'll take all that you got. Very, very horny movie. Number 5. Maybe this one might be up there more, but I do like Romeo plus Juliet so much. But I'm gonna go Challengers, because Challengers does it in a way that other movies don't, and the fact that Challengers does it through things like tennis. Like one of the horniest things in Challengers is just the way someone holds a tennis racket and the ball, and that is impressive. Now the director in general, just like you could say with Baz Luhrmann, you could say a couple movies in the filmography of Luca Guadagnino are probably up there on that list. There's a couple of them. You probably I won't spoil. Maybe someone else is going to pick one of them. But Challengers is right up there. Challengers is kind of like Wuthering Heights in a sense that like it wasn't quite as intense as you expected. But what Challengers did was it committed to that kind of that edge that everyone talked about with Wuthering Heights that we talked about earlier, which it broke through and kind of killed the tension, where Challengers never really does. It kind of always rides that line and keeps you, kind of gripping the edge of your seat. So, and the music too. I do think the music is a very unique. Obviously, the
not nominated,
score
crazy,
which got robbed at the Oscars. The Reznor Ross score kind of adds to it. So yeah, I'm gonna put Challengers up there. Which again, funny. It's funny we talk about Wuthering Heights this episode. And you bring up Challengers, but Challengers, another one. You went in with expectations. It didn't hit the expectations of what you thought it would be. But then it also, I think, kind of succeeded in towing that line and kind of keeping you wanting more all the way right until it ends, where it never kind of gives you that, I guess, quote unquote, satisfaction. And that's kind of why it's like, oh, that movie's it's kind of sick the way they did that movie. So yeah, I'm going to put Challengers at 5.
Great pick.
Very good
On
pick.
my list. Yeah.
I think next, and this is another director I think I put up in the horny rankings. And this is not necessarily an explicitly horny movie, kind of like we were just saying before. A History of Violence, I think, is a very horny movie. I think that is a sickly horny movie. And when I watched the Criterion commentary by Cronenberg on it, nothing made him more proud about that movie than the fact that he thinks he has the first on-screen 69 scene that made it into theaters. Like he is thrilled that made on a scene. And the scene where they fuck on the stairwell is crazy. This where she puts on the cheerleading outfit and stuff. Like that is a sickly horny movie. Like just, and it wasn't even totally necessary maybe to the movie, but it fit perfectly. And I think that was some true Cronenberg horniness for sure. It was Monica, I forget what her
Maria
name was.
Bello.
Yeah, her and Vigo. Great chemistry in that as well.
That's a good pick at 6. Good pick at 6. You'll have another pick in at 9, but next up, Gooch, 7.
This list is all over the map right now. I'm going to go with Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest. specifically. We got Gore on this episode. You got to talk about how horny that those movies, the first three, are very horny in general, and they kind of get hornier, but kind of lose steam in the same way we were talking about Wuthering Heights, when it becomes so explicit that it just loses all the appeal. But like early on, you got Johnny Depp like walking around in this makeup, shirt unbuttoned, like they're all shot like just like so like they're dirty and sweaty. Their shirts are open. The eyeline is always dripping down their face. Like they have this like trashy kind of pop couture look to them at all times. And then by the third one, just escalates to like there's a challenger situation going on between Jack Sparrow, Orlando Bloom, and Keira Knightley, where they're all kind of have a sexual tension between each other. And then
the Squid Man going after Calypso.
Yeah, it finishes with Orlando Bloom going down on Keira Knightley on a beach. Like it's a very horny sexual movie, which is, I mean, a big reason why it works and it's so fun and, you know, gallivanting. But Dead Man's Chest, very horny movie. All those Pirates movies are, but we're gonna put Dead Man's Chest in here.
All right. Curveball. Klemmer 8.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a movie that's like trashy horny. That's Wild Things. Denise Richards, Nev Campbell, Matt Dillon. This whole movie is just like kind of like rubbing your face in like the either kind of just like grimy sex or like grimy world. And it's like, here we go. We're all gonna kind of like be in this like mud together. And obviously it's that famous scene, but even beyond, the whole movie's shot in a very much a way of like you can almost feel the humidity and like the over sexualized feelings throughout. Wild Things it has to be on here for me.
Man, we're everywhere. We're all over the fucking map right now.
Oh yeah, very, very, very much all over the map. Kenjac, you're up next, 9, and then Klemmer rounds it out.
I think I'll go with one that this is a movie I definitely watched too young. I think I was probably like 11 or 12. The Secretary, with our good boy.
That was on my list too.
Yeah, James Spader and was it Maggie Gyllenhaal, right?
Yep.
But yeah, that is a deeply sexual movie. That it is very horny, and it is like it's kind of funny thinking about that too, comparing it to Wuthering Heights, like how that movie really goes for it, like the fucking car scene, like all that shit, like that. It really, really, really goes for it, and the actual like the sexual tension in it is like palpable from two people that like maybe you wouldn't necessarily expect from. Like it's not like a movie like 50 Shades, which like let's get these two hyper attractive people, or even like with Wuthering Heights, where like these two super attractive people that is the venue for your horniness. Like no, these are two like Spader and handsome man, Gyllenhaal, like pretty lady, but like they're two regular-ish looking people, and you feel that sexual tension, which I'll give it the horny pass here.
That's
like
a great
that.
pick.
Yep, very good pick. Klemmer, round it out. Throw us a curveball. Throw us a surprise.
I'm torn between one movie about repression and then the other one just about kind of evil sexuality. So I'll throw it to you guys to kind of split cause I can't split the difference here. It's either Saltburn or Black Swan. What do you guys think is more horny?
Ooh.
Saltburn's so out there.
I think.
But is it horny?
Is it horny or shock horny? You know what I mean? Like I think there's a difference.
Yeah, it's maybe
Like,
it's shock. Maybe it's shock.
I'm fine with Black Swan then, because that whole movie is just about sexual repression, and like you can feel it like from the frames of the movie.
I like that.
And everything is shot. Everything has like sexual undertone, sexual meaning, pretty much throughout that entire film. So I'll go with Black Swan. That's a fine answer for me.
When she's flicking her bean and she wakes up and sees her mom just sitting there, it's crazy.
Black Swan is a movie that I feel like wouldn't shock audiences now, but like it definitely was like, whoa, wow. So if people didn't know what it was, be like, oh, this is the ballet movie, and then go and they see what it is. Like, holy shit. Okay, good list. Crazy, all over the place.
Hey y'all, it's Gooch. Congratulations on making it this far into Project Big Screen episode 20. No fan rankings today, but they'll be back in the future. And if you want to be a part of those fan rankings, all you need to do is answer this question. What is the horniest movie you've ever seen that did not make our list? Answer that question whether you're watching on YouTube, listening on Spotify, and include your Letterboxd handle. We will follow you from the Project Big Screen account. And that's how we compile all of our fan rankings. So make sure you leave your Letterboxd handle along with your answer to that question. and we will get you followed. Once again, thank you guys. You guys are crushing it for us, helping us with views, helping us with engagement, doing all the things you need to do to keep us on the air. Cannot tell you how much we appreciate it. All right, now back to the show.
That is it. Next week on Project Big Screen, we are doing. Let me double check what we have.
Oh,
here.
Jeff, you're gonna love this. You know what's getting the widest release? A movie that I know you enjoyed. I Can Only Imagine 2.
Yeah, I can only imagine 2.
I saw that you liked the first one as much as I did.
Wait,
I mean, there's not a lot next week. I will say that.
what about The Bride? Isn't that coming out next week?
No.
No, The Bride isn't.
Should we watch a Christian biographical movie?
The sequel to a Christian biographical.
I will say
I think
Nirvana, the
I
band,
think
the
maybe
show,
we have to
the
do. I
movie.
can only imagine 2. I mean, there's not a lot out next week.
It's getting the biggest release, I believe.
Could do that and Nirvana. That'd be a good combo.
Yeah, we'll do.
Christian
So
movie
we'll
slop
do.
is
We'll
bad.
do. We'll do. I can only imagine 2. Because why not?
Oh, you know what comes out next week? How to Make a Killing.
Oh, true. Yeah.
I don't think
I'm
that's
seeing that
wide
tomorrow night.
though.
It says it is on my little schedule, but I don't know if that's true. Maybe it got moved, but
I think it's supposed to be a little insider info if you're listening to this. I think it's supposed to be the mystery movie this week at Regal and AMC. So if you want to see it
Oh,
early,
okay. No, it
tickets.
is. So it is coming out. So we will do the John Patton Ford, Glenn Powell, Margaret Qualley movie, How to Make a Killing, and we'll do Nirvana the band the movie. But maybe.
we might need to see it. I can only imagine.
I kind of would like us to review. I can only imagine too. That sounds kind of fun. Was that the movie that Chrissy Metz was in, the first one?
No, this is
No,
the
that's
one
Breakthrough.
with Mercy Me, the band, and
Oh no,
Bart
yeah,
is
I know. Trust me, I know.
Dennis
I know
Quaid.
the song.
the dad. I read your letterbox review and I laughed and I was because I rewatched it because I watched
All right,
it.
we'll do those 3. We'll throw no yeah. Let's do those. It's gonna make money. The movies make money.
The first one made like 80 million, I think. I think
And
worldwide, but like still.
Don't forget, in the lead up to the Oscars, we are gonna do. I think the weekend the Oscars come out, there's not much. The lead up to the Oscars, we will do some of the foreign movies we haven't reviewed yet. So it was just an accident. We'll definitely do, and I think we'll do The Secret Agent as well, and maybe some other things. But just keep that in mind. Okay, so yeah, so go. You don't have, and look, I know many people have been asking me. They've been like, "Do I have to see I Can Only Imagine 1 to get?"
I don't know.
Can Only Imagine 2?
I watched it. It was not good. This is going to be worse, I
Only
think.
imagine.
That's weird. I didn't see How to Make a Killing on the schedule. Yeah, that is out this week. Go see it as your mystery movie if you want to as well. That's it for Kenjac, Gooch, Klemmer. I'm Jeff D. Lowe. We'll talk to you next time.